Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Lich's Archives. I believe we're just jumping into it this time. We have no announcements. Everyone's here. Assy has finally cleaned their room. That's what's going on there.
No, they haven't.
No, I'm in a different location today.
But,
I
anyway,
left my house.
we're going to jump into this. So, I'll quickly just do a little last we left off, and then we'll see where we want to pick back up. Last we left off, the group was still kicking around Thornbluff, but they decided to do a little bit more looking around into things. With a map in hand, they headed down to the coast in search of some sort of smuggler's den, and found out there was actually a colony of mimics. Luckily, though, the mimics weren't quite as deadly as they could have been, even though they were literally the size of boats and buildings. The group got
Boats and
through
hose.
relatively unscathed. The two rogues decided to do rogue things and focus on money. Shalashar tried to follow suit by also grabbing something shiny, and risked his life for a single glove. I think it was a left-handed glove when he's right-handed, so, you know, priorities.
Yeah, I leave my right one bare.
It's softer that way.
It's a little more au naturel.
But they did survive, and they got out. They went to the kids. Assy has, again, shown that they enjoy giving away all of their hard-earned cash, and they actually gave most of their money to the kids that originally tipped them off. They had a nice little dinner. They met up again, and with that, the group kind of headed out into the forest. There was a small little warning or a sign, a message, asking about the amber. The party kind of said, lol, that's not happening. He's weird. And off they went into the forest. As forests usually do, there was a couple of strange sounds here and there, and a run-in with a lovely little orc who was looking for his griffin. I don't remember how you guys got the attention of the griffin.
Thaumaturgy.
Thaumaturgy, that's what it was. Yelling louder than anyone else possibly could. Managed to summon this griffin. Got this orc back onto his griffin mount in one of the absolute shortest and weirdest encounters that I've ever written or ran. And with that, you guys continued through the forest. You decided to skip the castle, and that's where we are currently coming back into. You guys are just getting to the edge of Thorn Forest, overlooking the town of Milskar. The roofs of this town are blue. It's a nice sort of late afternoon. The sun's still up, you know, but the sky is starting to turn more into shades of purple as it gives way to the night sky. You guys probably have a couple of hours before that happens, though. The town itself is decently busy, but very peaceful. You don't see walls around this town. You don't see really much. The only structures, defensive fortifications, or anything are on the northern side of this town facing the forest. The reason that you would probably assume this is because the town is actually almost divided in half by, well, you're not sure. Whatever happened here has been cleared away, but they put up a wall to defend against something, and they've left this giant path, this dividing line through the town.
Almost like a scar, would you say?
Yeah, almost like a scar. You could say that, and the cute of you might say that. But with that, what would you guys like to do this fine afternoon? Tal is still with you. It's the rest of you. Danny, Sarah, and Nikolai as well. But they're still, as always, cloistered at the back, having a nice conversation about Huron the Oak.
Nikolai, did you need to get anywhere right away, or can we peruse town a little?
You guys could probably go ahead and peruse if you want. I was actually going to broach this rather soon. I'm probably going to take the twins. I'll meet up with my father. I'll see what's going on there, and perhaps I can meet you guys someplace else. Have any of you been to Milskar before?
I have not.
We're-
Rest of you?
Nope.
No?
I mean,
No.
if you said there's a inn in the middle of the town, we can generally find it. Do you give us a name?
I could. There's actually one. If you guys haven't been there, it's very easy to find. So I'll give you the most common one then. And he kind of like, puts his hand on his chin. He's thinking. He hasn't exactly been here a lot.
What inns would I know of?
You've been there before?
No,
Yes.
I'm asking out of character.
Yeah, and I'm asking.
Because my
has
character was
been there.
my character was born and grew up here. Remember?
In that case, there's a lot that you would know of. The biggest one would be the Healing Scar, but depending on the districts you want to go into. Have you spent a lot of time in Milscar growing up here? Make a knowledge check with advantage. We'll do it that way.
Yeah. Ho ho ho.
That's a 1.
Which history?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a 30-20.
30-20. You would know a lot. Do you want me to just let you make stuff up, or do you want me to actually info dump a little bit at you?
If you have some written down that are interesting, sure.
Alright, well, I'll tell you a little bit about the city itself as well. Sound fair?
Yeah.
Alright. Scroll on just a little bit, because it's important to not mess things up when you're, trying to spit
Streaming and
bars.
people can call you back.
Yes, that too.
In this episode, you said this.
So, Milscar is a relatively new city on Char. It's one of the older human cities, but it is one of the newer cities in general, in a place where there's orcs, there's elves. Checking my volume, because apparently my music is loud. That better? That is better. Alright. So, it's new in a place where there's where there's elves and where there's dwarves, and there's very long pedigrees for a bunch of these. But for the humans, it is one of the major cities here. It's a prosperous city, and it's mostly farming, It's called Milscar because there was a mill once on the edge of this forest where they were clearing away, and one day that kind of came down, and it swept through this town. The scar is actually left and lined with bricks as headstones. Every single brick along this scar in the middle of the city bears the name of someone that died in this disaster. Over the years, some people have started religions on this, other people have seen this as a way to attract tourists. When you look at the city, it's divided into the north and the south. The more affluent people stay to the south, and you find more richer families there, people that are trying to have more of a pedigree to their names themselves. You have your jewel crafters there, that's also probably where Assi is from. You see elves there, you see dwarves. The northern side is a bit more industrious. It has more of that human flair. Things move faster there. You have hunters, you have woodsmen, you have wood crafters, so on and so forth. Probably the most you would know. You would know the south is considered probably safer, but at the same time, if you get in trouble in the south, it's usually really bad. The north, you have, smaller squabbles, stuff like that, and they usually tend to celebrate, and it's known as the noisier side of town.
Okay. Also, when it looks like Nikolai isn't sure where to go, it's okay. I've heard of a couple of places around here. I'm sure I can find us somewhere to rest.
Yeah, I mean, as long as you know, you can just tell me and I can find my way there. If you have anything in mind, do you think you guys going to the north or the south side?
Depends on you guys. How much money you want to spend tonight? Well, guys?
I'm not a huge advocate for spending a gross amount of money, but I do have some.
Okay,
I mean, our coffers are not exactly brimming here.
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
keep it cheap.
Both of you actually had the most of our money, and then it's gone.
They
So
actually don't have any.
Okay, so we'll stick to the north then.
Maybe city center sort of thing. Something maybe close to
Yeah,
the sky,
yeah.
you know.
There's one I heard about. Some bird one.
Some bone one?
Oh yeah, there's an inn near the north side, kind of along the skull.
Oh, the Fleeting Sparrow.
Yeah, that's the one.
Okay, well, that is easy enough for me to get to, so I'll take the twins with me, and then I'll meet you guys there. It'll probably take me a couple of hours, so no rush or anything like that, but just, you know, be there, shall we say, 3-4 hours?
Sounds good. I'll make sure we're there.
Alright. And with that, you guys are heading down towards the town, or anything else you guys would like to do?
I want to pull AC
I want
aside
to
really
disappear
quick.
as soon as we get into a crowd.
Well, first
Like,
Dayrod
I'm
is
going to
pulling
pop
you
right off.
aside.
Yeah, I'm
I
gonna.
can't get away before he does that.
You're on a what?
I can't get away before he does that.
You're on a path, you'd have to run ahead.
Yeah.
You can try,
Yeah.
if you would like.
Yeah.
Hey.
We're not in town yet.
AC, I just listen. Do you feel a little weird about leaving that dwarf guy alive?
What dwarf guy?
Bismuth.
In the other. Nah. He's kind of a dick, but I feel like the people there need that. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
he sucks, but he's better than nothing.
I guess. I don't know. The thought came about that it might be better just to kind of get rid of him, but I'm kind of feeling some regrets about that. But
Yeah, but like, if we kill him, then who's gonna be in charge? Maybe somebody who can't handle it. Could be making matters worse.
you know what? You're right. That's why I come to you, AC. That's why I come to you.
Alright, and with
So,
that, you guys kind of...
The inn we're going to is on the northern side of the sky, so we need to get onto that side right away.
Trust
And
you.
it's 2 blocks left on Fleet Street. That's real easy to find.
Alright, so that you guys continue your way down this road. It's relatively steep, but they have taken the time to carve in and build a nice, simple staircase to make it more palatable for people. There's actually 2 roads that go down this hill. One with stairs, which is nice maintained, and another one that's more of a dirt trail, has some grass growing in the middle of 2 ruts, and you get the idea it's more for wagons and stuff like that to make its way up and down. The wagon one also snakes around this large wall. When I describe the wall that's meant to keep this town safe from whatever could come from this forest or fall down from this forest, it's very tall in the middle, but on either end it kind of tapers down into nothing. It's not a defensible wall by any means. And with that in mind, there are a couple of guards posted here and there that you guys can see milling around. All of them have blue cloaks. They have usually one large spaldron on, and they all have different badges that seem to ornate some sort of family. The one that you see most often, though, seems to be... Let me just double check this. Sorry, I did this dumb thing where I closed something, and now I don't know what page I'm on.
Good job, buddy. Good job.
The most common one that you see seems to be a mill with an anvil in front of it, is the most common emblem you can see on any of these guides. But with that, you guys...
Would I know what that means? Is it like just the symbol of everybody that's common? Is it actually a family?
With the history check you had before, you would know that it's the symbol of the mill sworn. who are the people
Okay,
that
so
own.
it's not any particular family.
It is. It's Nikolai's family and his father Matthias.
Oh, okay.
They are.
So it's just a really big family?
You would know that Nikolai technically is like the prince of this city. Technically, it's not a kingdom, so he's not a prince, but he's like, if the father was the minister, he's the minister's son.
He's next in line.
Yeah, like
be
they own this town basically.
Okay.
Damn. Not officially, but council representative, he's way the fuck up there. With that, you guys walk into town, and actually as you guys are going, no one stops you. Actually, a couple of people do like a little fist salute when they see Nikolai, and he actually at this point moves from the back of the group closer to the front. As you walk into this town, you guys are actually directly at the Scar, and then paths go off all sorts of directions. There's a very nice path that goes down the center of the Scar. The Scar, now that you're here, you can see it's paved, but it's supposed to look like dirt. It's cobblestone, or clay, maybe? So it's brown stones all the way up, and then, like I said, they have solid pieces of stone here and there, and each one has names carved into it. And you guys can go north or south. Nikolai looks at you guys, and again, he just goes, "Fleeting Sparrow, I'll see you guys soon." And with that, he gives you guys the same salute that he's been given. And he heads off towards the south with the two twins in tow. And you guys are kind of left here.
I had off leading these guys along to the Sparrow, so
you're just going directly there?
Well, I'm gonna lead these guys there. I don't want to just ditch them
Alright.
lost in the city.
On your travels through this town, there are the same cryo stones that was in Red River. These ones are spaced a lot less often. The city, since you are going to the north, immediately it's... As you head more north... Trying to figure out a good way to word this. I'm working on it. Alright. And I'll sit up straight as well. It'll help with my creativity. So as you guys start heading north, the sounds of the city, it's not the sounds of a busy city. It's not the sound of laughter. It's not the sound of that. Instead, it's turning more and more into the sounds of partying, a couple of drunks, but you also do hear the sound of people working. You can hear horses' hooves above pretty much anything else. You can hear the sound of hammers on metal, and maybe a couple of songs here and there as you guys are passing. One of the very first things that does pop out at you is it smells very nice here. Even with all of the horses, this city is very well maintained. But with that, you guys are heading directly there. There are a bunch of shops along the way. I'm getting an echo from your phone.
Me?
Yeah,
Yep.
I think it was just picking me up for a second because you weren't talking. So I'll keep that in mind. So with that, you guys are heading directly there. There are lots of things along the way. Can I get a perception check from Shalashar, from anyone, if anyone cares to do so?
And also, if I would like to try and find a blacksmith that's close to the.
Okay.
I rolled an 18, so I've got 17.
So
I got an 18 too.
23.
23. Alright, and you've never been here, hey, A-Rod? It's just been assy.
8 A-Rod.
Alright, I'll keep that in mind. So, Cole, you're just keeping your head down, or anything you're up to?
I rolled a 3.
A 3? Keeping your head down, you're seeing a lot of knees.
I'm waving away farts.
Oh god, Jesus Christ. Alright, so, A-Rod, as someone that's newer to this place, you're looking out for just getting a general feel for this place. So the things that stand out to you above pretty much anything else is you can see the night's watch of this town is definitely starting to come out as the sun is slowly starting to go down, and you're just kind of clocking, okay, there's maybe, in this district, maybe 1 guard to every 3 town blocks.
Okay.
And you also see that, again, the majority is the same family crest here. But they mostly are armed with clubs or stuff like that. There aren't a lot of swords in here. It's mostly clubs, bill hooks, you know, stuff like that. And you also kind of get a feeling that, like, looking at these buildings, everything has a decent fresh coat of paint, but the buildings themselves aren't exactly extravagant or anything like that. You can probably piece together that the town is mostly trying to show that it has money rather than actually having money is the main thing you're able to pick up.
Okay.
You also can tell that most of the houses are closer to the center of town, specifically along the Scar. And as you guys are going and following Assy, you guys are heading more into what seems to be a tavern belt, maybe, and then after that, based on the sounds, you would guess there's more shops and stuff like that after this. It's weird. Again, there's no walls, but everything seems to be built into districts, and the district seems to run parallel to the Scar. Assy, you're looking for more of... Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry. I was just saying, I imagine when we're getting to this place that we're walking along a road that's just along the mill, the Skull, until we hit the right one and turn off of that, probably.
You got it. But you're looking for more familiar signs. So what you're able to pick up is, when you left, this place was doing well still. And it seems to still be doing well. But you're also picking up, everything's been repainted. Someone is spending a lot more money in this town. Whatever's going on, someone is showing up and they're trying to change the way this town is perceived. That's the main thing you're picking up, you know? It's like, you get downtown, you're like, what the fuck? Everything's been redone. There's been a lot of construction in the, like, couple of years you've been gone. Shalashar, you pick up, similar to A-Rod, a lot of money that looks like it's being spent here. Town, however, doesn't actually seem that rich. Things are built into district. There's a lot of night guards here. And you also see, like, there aren't a lot of cut posts. Like, no one's really paying too much attention to you. Most of the attention seems to be on Cole than anyone else. You are also the most armored figure here besides Cole. You don't see a lot of weapons, but you do notice on the hip of most people here, all of the humans have their own emblems. Even the guards, even the ones that aren't guards have something to denote some sort of family one way or another. And on top of that, you would guess 20% dwarves, 5% elves, the rest are humans. And
So
then,
there's-
maybe an extra 5% of other assorted races. But it is definitely a human hub. This is the most humans you've ever been around in your life.
So I think it's fair to assume that status is important in the city.
Maybe. Family seems to be important, at the very least, if not status.
Yeah, and I mean familial status. It's like houses of nobles. There is a certain ranking.
You go to see
When we walk past a house that's clearly been painted in the last, like, week or so...
As we make our way down to the inn, I would like to stop off at a
Yep, I'll
blacksmith.
get to you. I'm just going to quickly see what Assy wants to do, and then I'll describe a couple of those as we're going.
As we're walking, though, I'm just gonna look at one of the houses and lean over to whoever is closest. Maybe Cole, maybe A-Rod, whoever is closest to me, but I'm gonna tell them... Actually, let's lean over to, like, Cole and A-Rod.
All the way
Look
down.
at this shit. They're trying to polish toads with a coat of paint.
I don't know, it doesn't
see any
seem-
turds around.
Yeah, it doesn't seem that bad here.
Yeah, but, like... Yeah, it's just not what I expected, you know? Feels like they're
Oh.
trying to pop shit.
Oh, it's a lot better than Thornbluff.
As you guys are saying this, Ashley turns a sharp right and starts taking you guys towards this building. And Shalashar, you can make out the building even probably before Ashley can, because you're tall, you're looking ahead, you can see the sign of the Fleeting Sparrow. But looking behind these buildings, you can see is where it would open up into the market. It sounds like there's probably a couple of blacksmiths a block or two over, but you would have to just walk past the tavern. And you can
Okay.
also see along this, there seems to be a tavern, then there seems to be some sort of clubhouse, then there's what you assume is another tavern, but with certain persuasions based on the ladies outside yelling at people, or not yelling, I should say calling to people, and then so on and so forth. This definitely seems to be a very social district. And there's also a couple of casinos here and there.
So, A-Rod, you want to get us a room?
Me? Why me?
You're the one with all the money.
Alright, I'll get us a room.
Awesome.
Alright, so, are you going with them,
I'm
Shalashar, or?
Probably check in and make sure that everything's kind of settled before I head off.
Alright. So with that, you guys head into this tavern. And the immediate thing that you can pick up in this place, you walk in, it's not quite busy yet, you know, it's a nice open space with several tables here and there. There is a big bar at the back, and it kind of like takes over the back wall as well as the left wall, and the right wall has a bunch of it's like it's supposed to be some sort of couch that's like built into the wall, no tables in front, and then there's a little bit of a dancing area, and then you get to the tables. Relatively low roof here, and you can tell that there's probably a second floor above, and when you were coming in, there was a very large balcony area that kind of has a big overhang onto the street. Pretty much everyone that works here seems to be human. There's a couple of half-elves here and there. And with that, you can make your way up to the bar if you want. The person behind the bar seems to be a elder-looking figure, but still nice, decent physique. They're not past the prime, but they're definitely in a bit of their declining years, as well as their hairline, which has moved back quite a bit, but they've refused to get rid of that. And they just have some long hair down to their shoulders.
Are they combing it to try and hide it?
No, it looks like they're just there, and they're just like slumped over, hand on their cheek, just watching you guys come up, and they look pretty bored at this point. And as you guys come up, they make no change in their posture. They just kind of have like 1,000-yard stare clear through you guys.
Excuse me.
Oh.
Hey, service?
Yeah, yes. You guys are quite early. Usually no one shows up for another hour or two. You are here for the competition?
Competition? No,
The dance-off.
no. The dance-off, you say?
Yeah, it's the time when we feel freest at this point. I mean, you haven't heard? It's kind of a
Oh,
big thing
shit.
here at the Sparrow.
No, I haven't heard, and I'm gonna glance back at AC really quick, like,
I would like to point out that once he went to go and get a room, I left.
You left.
Yeah, I've got stuff to fuck around with.
We still
in
have
other
a
areas.
couple of spaces if you wanna sign up for that. If you win, rooms are free.
I mean, I couldn't possibly, I don't know. I'm gonna look back at the rest cord, Salshar?
You do
No?
need a partner. You do need a partner.
Anybody? I'm gonna hold out my hand, kind of like, anybody? No?
I'm kind of short to be a partner.
Oh, we can make it work. Come on, don't have that pessimistic attitude.
All right, I'll try it. Sure.
Alright, we're in.
Alright, well that's two. What are you
Hey, tell
guys'
her.
names?
I'm A-Rod.
And I'm Kerr.
A-Rod and Clyde, I got you. And anyone else? And Tala, she looks over at you and she gives you kind of a side eye, like she's unsure, but you get the idea. Should
It's
probably
been a
go
while
for it.
since I stretched out my legs. Did you want to dance?
As long as you'll take the
Oh.
armor off.
I could probably find some dress clothes.
Fine. I'll do it. Alright,
Perfect.
and you two, what am I writing down here? I heard
I'm-
Tala, and I already got you two. What's this striking, masked figure?
This is Salashar. He never takes it off. We don't know why.
Okay, well, see a lot of people dancing in armor, so I do hope you get that close. The kind of dance, oh, I'm sure you guys will figure it out. It's a mixed bag. It depends on who shows up. It's lovely. It's lovely. And we have a very, very lovely bard in tonight. One of the best.
Oh, I
you'll-
believe you. I believe it 100%. I can't wait.
But that being said, if you're spending the night, I do need deposits on the rooms. And then if you win, we'll give it back. Breakfast as well. So, is that fine with you guys? How many rooms do you want? Is just gonna be 3 rooms? You two together? You two together? And
We'll take 2. We'll take 2 rooms.
thought you had another person with you. 2 rooms?
Yeah.
3 rooms?
2 rooms will be fine. I'm gonna kind of start looking around for AC. Like,
AC is nowhere to be found. AC, where'd you go off to?
You're muted.
You're still
You're
muted.
muted.
yeah, you're still muted. There we are.
Oops. So, I think you can guess where I'm going. I'm gonna go off and find the quick
Find the. Oh, you wanna. Alright, it's a little bit of a walk, probably about half an hour because you gotta cross. Alright, AC is like gone. Shalashar and A-Rod, you guys are kind of, you pay attention. You're like thinking back to like crossing. You don't even think you even heard her boots on the floor.
Hmm.
So 2, 3, 2. We'll say 2. I'm sure you can get another if you need it. Rooms are upstairs. Obviously, they're not down here. You don't see any. Sorry, I'll stop talking. That'll be 4 silver. 2 silver per room.
You got it. And I'll flicker 4 silver.
Him.
Him, sorry.
Just a very balding woman.
No, keep it in character, yeah.
Congratulations, you found the one orc in the entire city.
Alright, well, I hope you guys enjoy. The competition starts at 2. He looks around and he kind of gives a shrill whistle, and nice lady comes over, looks like she has a notepad with her, and he just goes, can you show these fine figures to their rooms? And he passes her 2 keys. And with that, she'll lead you guys on upstairs. She's nice, she's chatty, she's just kind of telling you guys. The main thing that she's going on about is just the quality of the bard and how busy and crazy it's supposed to be tonight.
I'll give her 1 silver.
Oh, well, with that,
Just-
she lets you in and she gives you a very kind of low bow, and she's like, thank you so much. We appreciate your patronage, and yeah, if you need anything, just let me know. My name's Hilda.
Thank you. That's good to know.
Alright. Anything else you guys want? The rooms themselves, they are actually decently nice rooms. Much like downstairs where everything was nice, good wood construction, same with this. They're very nice beds. They have wooden bed frames, and everything is carved with hunting scenes, and it's kind of a cross between a tavern and a hunting lodge, and they've really committed to that. The chandelier downstairs, again, it's kind of a low roof, not a lot of room for chandelier, but they wanted it. It's 3 tiers of just deer horns. Sorry, deer antlers, not horns. And same with this. Each room, they have like their own little chandeliers as well. But luckily, they just went for wood carved to look like deer antlers. So, you know, they know what they like. And
If it's not broke, don't fix it.
and most of the hunting scenes as well, mind you,
Yeah,
most things are antler based. A bunch of it's bird hunting scenes and people with bows. So, a bit of a disconnect there, but you know, you can't exactly land a place with bird skulls and make it look homey, alright? Hilda says pretty much the same.
Why not?
When you come from a place like Sigwolf with the covens, the witches usually have a thing for skulls, so hunters, you know. If you ever go to Sigwolf, just don't walk around with a lot of bird skulls, alright? It'll save you
Lovely.
trouble. Alright, well, with that, I'll let you guys tuck in for the night, and when you hear the music, you'll know when to come down. And then, yeah, pretty much everyone dances. There's a couple of judges, and if you win, you'll find out in the morning, sort of thing. It's not super competitive, but it's a lot of fun.
Sounds like a plan.
So with that, anything you guys would like to do or make me aware of? Assie's going to take a little bit of time crossing the city.
I want to go to the blacksmith and I want to find someone who, what is it called? Someone who creates like a more fancy clothing. Tailor. I want to find someone who can, preferably who has some sort of magic to expedite the process of me getting a suit made.
Alright, so you want to go to a blacksmith and a tailor.
Yes.
Anyone else? You can follow Shalasha if you want. You just gotta ask him.
Oh.
Oh, we just...
Or still my dancing partner, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Chloe's your dance
I-
partner.
I think I should polish my armor for this.
Go for it, buddy. We can't miss.
How are you guys splitting up the rooms, by the way? Is it just going to be dancing partners together in the rooms?
Sure, why not?
Yeah. I mean, there's no reason not to.
Alright. Fair enough. So, Cole's polishing his armor. A-Rod, you're just sitting there watching him polish his armor?
Yep.
Okay. Not in a creepy way. No.
No.
It's never weird watching a dude polish his spear.
He polishes it really well, though.
I'll
Doing
give him
home
some
stretch.
tips.
And the
Yeah.
attention to detail.
It's
immaculate.
really in the wrist, boy.
Really gets me going.
Spinning that
Are you
cloth.
gonna help him fletch his arrows as well?
Right. So, Shalasha, you head back out onto the street, and you take a couple more turns here and there, and you're into the next district. This one's still well maintained, everything decently, you know, maybe not fresh coats of paint, but like the roads look like they are really fresh.
Well kept.
You know, and there's a couple of street cleaners out like that, and some shops are starting to close down, and you can actually see like a bunch of the guards. There's like one guy that's like standing guard, and then another guy that's like literally checking all of the doors as he goes by, and they're like watching as people like check out and stuff like that. But there's still a couple places that are open and don't seem like they're in any hurry to close down. The most noticeable ones from here, as you're able to pretty much look up and down the street. This city has really clean sight lines based on the way that everything is built and maintained. So you could go to one where it seems to be a couple of humans working, you know, longer hair, both of them, and they have their hair up in ponytails. Or you could go down to another one where it seems like it's a much quieter forge, and you only know it's a forge really because of the sound every once in a while of a hammer, but it sounds like they're doing finer work, and you can't see who's working there from where you are at.
Okay.
Tailors, you'll need to go into a shop, and you can just tell me how. We'll give you three. One you assume is quite expensive, but has quite a bit of novelty, and another one just seems to be like nicer defined suits.
nicer to find suits. I don't have a whole lot of gold on me, so I'm going to see if I can rent a tux.
You want to do the tailor first?
I'll probably go to the blacksmith first because I need to drop off my armor.
Do you want to do the quiet one or the louder one with two figures working at it?
I mean, I don't need any watchmakers, so probably the louder one.
Alright, so you...
Actually, fuck it, let's go to the quiet one.
Alright, the quiet one. So, you go over towards this one. It does have a nice, good open work area where there does seem to be a forge. It's burning quite low, and it seems to have a very large bellows on it, as well as, oddly, a secondary structure with just a single door, but no windows or anything like that. The figure that you see working here seems to have very angular features. They have very large, pointed ears. They have some very crisp blue eyes, and they seem to be elven in nature. And they have a small piece of... It might be armor, you're not sure. It's on a chain, but it's far too big to be a necklace, and it almost looks like a gurget. And they're currently kind of drifting something through it. Drifting implies, like, they have a large metal rod that's quite hot at this point, and they're hammering it through. But they're doing it very gently and humming quietly as they're doing this. It seems almost ineffective and just bizarre to watch, because you're like, the fuck? But the metal is pouting, you know? They're not actually pushing this thing through, the metal's just moving out of the way as they're drifting this hole.
As I approach, I'd like to say hello in Elven.
They reply. And not only that, 10 seconds. I literally scrolled back past the exact thing I was looking. Alright, so they look at you, and they kind of like straighten themselves. They set their tools off to the side, and they go, "Ah, Pierre, what can I do for you?"
Lower my right leg a little bit and give a short little bow. I was hoping to get some work done on my armor. It got a little bent and chewed out of shape.
They look down at your leg at this point, your greaves, and they just kind of nod their head like, I could probably do something for that. You
I'm
want
not
it
certain.
replaced or just patched?
I am a little short on coin at the moment, so I'm not certain what going rate is.
Huh? Well, again, do you want it replaced or do you want it patched?
It depends on what the rate is. If I could afford to replace it, I would.
Split,
but if,
is it?
Yeah.
First set of greaves, probably 10 gold? Could probably cover it.
10 gold is fine. I'll reach into my sleeve and I'll rifle out a handful of coins and I'll bring them over to the counter for him.
Oh, this is nice and easy then. I can actually go and just grab you some from just inside if you'll give me about a minute.
That'd be perfect.
And they, at this point, they just kind of like look around, make sure no one else is like in line behind you. And then they head towards the larger structure, you know, the actual building, not the side structure with no windows. In this place, you can see again several tools, very large bellows. Nothing really like strikes you as out of the ordinary out here, though. And after a couple of minutes, they do return, unless there is anything you would like to do.
I do want to start rummaging around in my bag and pull out the one plate mail gauntlet.
Okay. So when they return with these nice greaves, set them down on the table, and you're holding this plate gauntlet.
Hate to bother you, but over here I actually happened upon this. I was actually wondering if you'd be able to shine it up for me, kind of give it a little bit of life. I unfortunately don't have enough money to buy my own at the moment, so I'm trying to part it out, basically. Make do.
Yeah, I could definitely do that for you. I won't even charge you for something like that. They just kind of like drag their hand over, and again, they start humming under their breath as they do this. And you watch as the metal just seems to come clean as they swipe their hand across it.
If you don't mind, I'm not from here. I'm originally from Yun, but I've heard of some of the original elves used to meld the trees, like shape them, if I'm not mistaken.
Uh,
Is that similar to what you're able to do?
Not quite. I do a little bit, and that's actually what that structure is for. And they point over to the windowless structure. But it's really not quite as easy as everyone makes it sound. We mostly grow the metal, and then we grow trees, we grow the metal within the trees, and then we carve out to get the structures.
Oh, that's interesting.
So it's not quite as simple as waving my hand and making things happen. This was just a little bit of prestidigitation and a little bit of mending mixed together.
That's still useful. Thank you.
It is. As they do this, actually, you can actually make out a couple of finer details on this gauntlet now that it's been brought back to life. And there's actually, it's a very nice gauntlet. It's not just simple plate. There's actually like gold trim here and there along each of the joints in the fingers. And where it like lets off into, it looks like it's starting to turn more gold or brass, as if it's about to turn into something else where the suit of armor would continue. But for just the gauntlet, you're unsure what it would go into from here.
Is there any specific symbols or anything on it, or is it just more like ornate?
Roll an investigation check. And don't break that plate, god damn, boy.
That's a 14. So that's a 17.
17. You start looking over this. The one thing that you find is an inscription on the inside, right? So it is a gauntlet. It connects up to here, and it looks like it would continue on. But if you were to look in on like this flap here, there's a maker's mark of a sun, and underneath it, in common, is written the words, "Flames keep you safe," which is a common saying in Sigwolf.
Figured to be Sigwolf. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt your day, but do you know much, like, in your trade, do you see a lot of work from other artisans? Can you recognize some of their work?
Some I'm mostly familiar with craftsmen that I've met or the stuff of legends, but we have a bit of a tight circle. If it came from Milscar, for instance, I'm probably familiar.
As I just noticed on the inside of this column, there's this sun shape. I'm assuming it's something Sigwolfian. I know that they care a lot about the flame.
They'll like hold out their hand for the gauntlet.
And I'll hand it over and help like rotate it.
Alright, they take a look at it. And you watch as their eyes actually kind of like light up a little bit, and they go, "Oh, that's actually quite interesting. This would have belonged to one of the Inquisitors." And they hand it back.
Inquisitor?
Within the Sacred Flame, they have their own little sects. The Inquisitors, I believe, are some of their higher ranking officers. I don't really know what they do. But it probably belonged to someone of some nobility or someone of some importance. The sun keep you safe is definitely a common saying for a bunch of them, but actually looking at the gold and the accents, that is what I'm mostly basing this off of.
good to know. It's very interesting.
The gauntlet itself, to put it into terms you would know, I would describe it as Nilfgaardian in the way it looks. It's black metal with golden accents that seem to turn more into brass.
It is beautiful craftsmanship. Well, I'm not certain how long I'll be around the city, but if I see you on the road,
Of course. And maybe next time, I'll be able to do some more work for you or something like that. And maybe instead of calling you Pira, you'll be Nota.
give a quick bow. Thank you, and I'll back away with a little bow and turn on my heel.
All right.
And then I would like to go to the nearest tailor.
All right. You get a choice then because you wanted a nicer tux. There's two. One has very obvious Sigwolf meanings, and it's called the Moth's Pride. And then another one is just the Tailor's Mill. Up to you.
Do I know? I guess silver and gold isn't necessarily a specific color palette. Let's try the. I'll try the mill first.
Alright, so you walk into there. Very nice place. Instead of a mill, though, it is a giant loom that seems to dominate the majority of this place. And it's a little strange what you walk into. It's a single loom in the center with a stool next to it. There's a table far at the back, and then there's a bunch of glass cabinets with suits that kind of line this entire place. Nice looking lady seems to be working here. She, again, seems to be a common custom for the people here to have their hair up in either a ponytail or some sort of bun. And she has her hair in a nice bun with what seems to be... You're not sure what it is. It looks like a stick just directly through the bun. And she, kind of like just starts eyeing you up immediately, and then she crosses the room to like meet you part way, and she goes, "Let me guess, you've been everywhere, and a tall fellow like you is having trouble fitting into something." She's like pulled out a measuring tape, and she's already like,
Kind of correct. I also never really worn anything of this sort, not since I was quite young. I'm actually going to a dance competition with a certain someone I'm a little interested in.
The Fleeting
And-
Sparrow, I'm guessing.
You would be correct.
Well,
And I'd like to dress up a little.
Well, you don't need to dress up too much, but you do have a choice. You could go with the common theme that they like, or you could go for something classy and less clashy.
I would like to do black. I'm thinking black, silver trim. Maybe some ornate cufflinks, something noble but suave.
Noble
if you
but
can-
suave. We could definitely do that. Black might be a little hard to get. Reds, browns, and greens would be something a bit more common, but I could probably try to get a couple of black accents if you want.
If the cost is anything, I'll reach and jingle my coin purse. I would like entirely black, if possible. If there's anything I can do to aid it, I mean, I do have an extra cloak if you wanted to take the material from that.
Well, I mean, I have 2 hours to make something. Is the problem? That is when the dancing starts, and you'll know when it does. So, a little pressed on time, sweetheart.
If you want to take something currently existing and then take my extra cloak, and couldn't you basically run it around and then just reseam it?
I mean,
Use something else for the base layer?
I could definitely try. How lucky do you feel?
I've been on the road for a long time, so
Alright, tell you what. We'll call it 3 gold. And while I do this, how about you just sit down and have a little prayer, and we'll see how far we get.
Take 4. Take 4 gold for the hurry.
High or low, James?
Low.
Alright, so you sit down, and she gets to work. She clears the table, she grabs your cloak, she grabs a couple of other materials, and she gets to work. You can tell almost immediately that this is probably not going to turn out exactly the way you want. It starts out fine, but you can hear in the distance the music starting to play, and she's nowhere near done. She has like a set of pans done, she has a bunch of things pinned, she has one of the legs done, but like she does not have time to get this done. She hasn't even started on the top yet, and you probably have half an hour left.
Alright, I'll walk up to the counter. I'm just seeing if there's any
And
spells
I
I
punch her
have.
in the face.
Do better!
And she looks like she's moving as fast as she can. Like she's not, she's busting her ass.
Hear me out? Haste. Just keep casting haste on her.
Unfortunately, I don't have haste. Alright, since this is a bit of a last minute thing, if I can deal with if it's not completely black, I just have a preference. If you can find a way to integrate it and make it like a an accent piece, if it's like an accent wall, or if you want to spread black into it like tendrils, something like that, just
Okay,
that's fine.
James, high or low?
Fuck it, high.
High.
It's low, isn't it?
Yeah.
You motherfucker.
Alright,
I
she
am
looks
going
at
to
you
run.
and she's like, so go ahead.
I'm just gonna be like, I trust you to do what you think looks best.
Okay,
I will be right back. I'm gonna run back to the blacksmith.
okay. So you run back to the blacksmith.
I'm going to
At this
approach again
point,
and
it's been about an hour, and you can see, like, he started to close everything down, and you can actually see he's, like, just, like, walking to the front of his shop.
I'm so sorry. Do you have look down at my non-existent watch.
My sundial?
Fuck, where? Do you have a few moments? I'm not certain how long this will take. I just needed something last minute.
What do you need?
I need you to make me a mask.
A mask.
A mask.
Oh.
I know what it needs to look like. I don't know how quick you can be or proficient, and I know this is very last minute.
What does it need to look like, and how much, I could get it for you tomorrow, if that's...
I wanted it for the dance tonight.
Oh, you poor thing. What does it need to look like? Let's be positive.
So out of character, you know from Thor Ragnarok, Hela's her mask, how it kind of like rounds the side of the face and has the horns that come off?
Yeah.
I want something like that, but it comes down into a cowl that it's just the face of a corvid.
So you want like a plague doctor's mask, but spiky.
Yes.
I could probably do something, but it won't be entirely metal.
That's fine.
Okay,
With that little trick you pulled, can you color it gold?
I could definitely, do something like that. How much gold are you willing to throw at this?
I have 40 gold in my pocket.
Okay, how about we call it 5? And I will whip something together as best as I can with that description in mind.
I'll reach in and hold it out for him. Thank you. I am so sorry for this last minute. It skipped my mind.
Okay, Okay, yeah, no, I can do this. And with that, he kind of like goes into his house, and then he like pops his head back out. Come back half an hour.
I'll be back.
Okay.
And I'll take off at a sprint back to the tailor.
Okay, so you're just running back and forth between these, doing suicides. All right. When you come back into, it looks like whatever she was doing, she's basically like shredded. She has another suit on on the table,
This.
and and she's trying to do something. It doesn't look bad. It's not at all what you described, but it
Yeah,
doesn't look bad. It
I
looks
was
like
thinking
she's
like a
taken.
Nilfgaardian.
In this case, it's more like the base was definitely a brown, a very dark brown suit, and it has quite a few like little green accents. But it looks like she's like removing those and putting the black, so now it's like this brown with like even darker black accents that kind of like go throughout this suit. It's not like a 3-piece suit or anything like that, right? And it looks like she's gone for something nicer, something classier, and it's going to be brownish pants, black accents, but she's tried to. What's on your mask?
My current one?
Yes.
So I don't know how to describe it. Whenever you learn how to draw, you have like you can do lines that show like how you do positions on the face. It's basically that, but it's hard gray steel with very pronounced silvered edges, with like really sunken eyes.
So she's tried to kind of copy a little bit of that because she figured maybe the mask was part of your look. So they almost look kind of cell shaded. It's something you never would have expected to see. You know, there's like just accents that would make you look very angular and very like you'd have a strong presence, I guess would be the best way I could describe it. Again, doesn't look bad. It actually looks quite good. It's just not quite what you had in mind when you commissioned this.
Yeah, so short notice.
Yes. But it does look good. You know, you would be happy to wear this. And then there's also quite a few little red accents here and there. Probably one of the things that you could compare this to is the night sky of Antonium. Whenever, like, one of the red runes in the sky kind of lights up. It almost looks like the night sky with little accents of red here and there.
She's putting it together last minute. I want to take off my current cloak. I'm going to undo my silver buckles, and I'm going to start taking it off of my splint.
Okay.
And I'm going to basically move over to the table, and I'm going to try and start affixing them to the current one if she's not working on the top.
Yep.
I basically want to take like my ragged cloak and throw it on the back as an accent.
Alright, fair enough. After this, I just gotta jump to Assie when she gets back, but we'll say, for the sake of this, you're starting to hear like the music popping up. Oh, Assie's here. I'll quickly describe your mask, and then I'll jump to Assie, and then we'll get back to A-Rod and Cole. The mask, however, is much closer to what you wanted. It looks like he had 2 pieces of leather that he quickly and seamlessly put together. The eyes, actually, they're more sunken in, you know, similar to your mask, but at the there's something covering it, and it seems to be a shaded sort of glass. But when you look through it, it actually is, like, very easy to see through this. It's not quite night vision, but, like, you could probably see within, like, you know, 5 feet in, like, dim light. You know,
Okay,
like,
so does it affect my normal night vision?
No, but it would
It
make
doesn't.
you very good at reading a book in the dark. It looks like he like took a pair of his own spectacles and like
He did?
put them in there as best as he could. Is what I'm describing here. And then besides that, it looks like he took a piece of, again, a neck piece that would look like the sun, and he's like pried it off and he's put it around like the edge of this thing, so it looks like a plague doctor's mask with like a sun coming out of it, but he's tried to like make them look wavier as they come off. So it looks less sun-like and more spike-like. You know. Is this what you had in mind?
This quite close. But
and you wanted
if you
it
don't
in
mind-
gold.
yes, please.
Okay, and with that, he kind of like waves his hand over, and you watch as he's kind of like, it's almost like he's spray painting it with the palm of his hand.
And is it possible to kind of get rid of the leather-like texture? I wanted it to look metallic.
Hopefully the paint job will do that, but don't let anyone touch it. And with that, he hands it to you, but he hands it to you in like a weird way. He's like, it's still damp, just give it like 5 minutes, hopefully.
I'll just reach inside and grab by the base. Thank you. I appreciate this. I'm sorry for the last minute.
Oh, no problem. Don't do it again. I want to go to bed.
Yeah, because it did, like, out of character, the dance party started at 2 a.m., correct?
Probably closer to like midnight is when it's going to be starting. You know, you guys kind of like showed up at like 8 p.m.-ish.
Pretty late, okay.
It's been a couple of hours here and there. Alright, I want to jump to Acid, and I'll jump to A-Rod and Course if you guys want to do anything, and then we'll get to the dance party and so on and so forth. So, Acid, you've been making your way through Milscar. You've crossed the Scar, you've got into a more familiar sort of place.
Wait, I am also going to like decorate myself. I will put all of the like trinkets that I've been saving and keeping. I put them back in my hair. I put my necklace back on. I get the family emblem and I pin it on, and I make myself as nice as I can, and I keep anxiously checking myself in the windows of like just about every place I pass. Like I'm walking by, but I'm like, as I'm walking, I'm looking in the middle windows.
Yeah, I mean, as you're walking, you've cleaned yourself up as nice as you can, but as critical of you are as your appearance, you do realize you stink. And that's the one thing you've been unable to really deal with as you're doing this. Like, everything looks good, but you're like 10 feet and they won't know.
Do I see it? Would I pass by any place I know that would like sell perfume or something? Or like, would I see any place with like a cleansing stone that I could touch?
You definitely could find a place to get some perfume on this side of town. Easily.
I'm gonna go, I'm gonna run in, I'm gonna grab like, what is your strongest smell that would like mask this?
Garlic.
Yeah, they will get you probably a nice mint smell. It's probably the thing they're going to go for. You know, like, honey, you can't really mask that, but maybe we can work with it. And that's what they give you.
Make a little rich.
I don't want to. I don't want them to hate hugging me. Is really like what I'm trying to fix here.
And maybe you want to clean up a little bit of that stubble too.
Do you have a mirror I could borrow and like some cream?
Tell you what, how about you just step into the back room and just
That's ominous.
yeah, they show you into what seems to be like a storage room, and there's just like an array of plants and stuff like that. But you are in there with a mirror, and they also hand you like a little basin with some water, and they're like, sweep up when you're done.
Thank you.
You're so
quickly,
quiet. There you go.
Shave my stubble. I feel a little bad about it because I like it, but
Alright. It is the most feminine Assy has looked in like years. You know, you have all your jewelry in, you've gotten into the beard, you're wearing perfume. The only thing that stands out is your blood-soaked armor and patchwork repairs that you've tried to do. You look motley, but you know, from like the head up, you could probably fit in.
take off the armor and stuff it in my bag. Like the worst of it, I'm gonna take
so
off
you're
and
just
stuff it.
doing everything you can to tidy yourself up.
Yeah, I've got on a cream-colored shirt with loose sleeves that sort of like ruffle at the wrists a little bit, and I hold those up to about mid-arm. I have on this blue corset-like vest with silver embroidery trimmed on it,
Okay.
and a brown pants that are kind of loose in the thighs and then tuck into my boots.
Okay.
And how much would it cost for the perfume and everything?
The perfume would be simple silver. It's not too expensive.
I'm gonna pay a gold for it. Cause like it's perfume, they let me clean up and everything, and I'm paying them a gold.
Right? They're like, shit, I would have shaved your beard for that amount. Good luck, stranger, with wherever you're going.
I would have chewed it off with my teeth like a goat.
I thank them profusely, feeling cleaned up and better. I go to the Quick Argantum Jewelers.
Right? You can see at this point they are still awake. You can make out your father through the shop mirror, and it seems like he's standing there. He has a cup with him, and he's talking to what you assume is your mother, but you can't quite see them through the window. You don't see any of your siblings, though.
It would be about like 9 o'clock, yeah?
Yep.
'Cause
9,
you said we got here
10-ish.
at 8. Well, you said we got here at 8, and it
Yeah,
only
but
would
then you
take an
stop.
hour.
We'll just say 9, 10-ish. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. Please continue.
Okay, I'm going to walk up to the door, turn around and walk away, turn back around to the door, turn around and walk away again, and inside my head, I'm like, I should do this. I should just rip off the band-aid, get done. I'm like, nope, can't do it. No, we gotta do this. We've gotta do this. Just rip off the band-aid, get it done. And I finally, after like a 5-10 minutes of like arguing back and forth with myself, I go up and I knock on the door.
Alright, you knock on the door, and what comes next is the longest minute of your life. Then after a couple of minutes, the door swings open, and you see a tall elven figure, strawberry blonde hair, has it tied back, and he's still talking over his shoulder, and then he looks towards you, and the words just like stop. And there's just like this minute of silence, and he just kind of like hold his arms out to you.
I hug him. I'm sorry I haven't been writing as much as I should, Papa.
Where have you been? And as he kind
Oh,
of like
well,
hold you at like arm's length.
traveling around.
Your
Right.
mother has been so worried about you.
I'm sorry.
Your mother's the dwarf.
Yes.
I love it so much.
That's why you don't see them through the window.
Mom, well,
Your mother has been worried, and with that he like, Zilda, get over here. And you hear a couple of things clatter, and she turns, and unlike the father, she is not Grace, and she like kind of like, she hugs you far more than your father ever could, and it's almost crushing in her embrace.
just as fiercely. I'm sorry I worried you, Mama. It's... You know what people were saying after everything with Gareth?
Well, do you want to come inside? Join us for the night?
I have some friends staying at the Fleeting Sparrow.
The father
I-
like gives you like a side eye at that, and he goes, "Friends."
Yeah, traveling companions. We were at Thorn Bluff, and we fought a bunch of monsters there. We helped them with the Crumbling Wizard's Tower, and we even beat not a beholder, but like the smaller beholders.
Oh, Jesus. He definitely looks concerned. He does look concerned, but he does kind of like cut you off, and he just goes, "I see." What
No,
friends?
he wouldn't know. He wouldn't know me as that. He would know me as my birth name, Fuhilda.
Okay.
Remember?
Yes. For Hilda.
Yeah. That name.
I'll be honest, we have been trying to keep tabs on you. And the rumor is you are kind of walking around with a bit of an unsavory character. Is that who you're trying to meet up with at the bar?
No, it's mostly Cole and actually Nikolai.
Nikolai?
We were traveling with them.
Can you roll a deception against your father?
Not deception.
No, it's a little deception. He knows so well.
So is that at disadvantage?
Until Assy literally brings Nikolai over. Kill this cunt.
15.
15, alright. Well, I'm glad you are keeping some company, but who else?
There's also this man from Yun named Salashar.
For Hilda?
Apparently,
Are you still with the rogue?
maybe.
You have to be careful. And I know you're an adult, and like, at this point the mother's kind of like, she's moved back into the house, she's like, I'm going to get a beer.
I kind of wish the dad, the elf, was the alcoholic and not the dwarf. Like, just really put her on his ass.
You need to be careful. I know you're an adult, and I know what you're going to say, but I've heard things about him. I know who he was running with. You need to be careful. If you hang out with people like him, next thing you know, you're breaking into things, you're taking things that don't belong to you, and then God knows what else happens.
Yeah, but he's not all that bad. We actually went and found a colony of mimics and gave a bunch of the gold to a family in Thornbluff so they could get out of there.
You see he's trying not to like smile at that one, and he goes, you'll need to come back and tell us more of these stories. Maybe I can get some of your siblings over as well. Would you like that, for Hilda?
How much are they going to mock me?
Uh,
They're not still a thing, are they?
Undead probably will. Umback would be just glad that you're here. Same with Gwendon and Durin. But you know what Undead's like. Well, you would if you had come and visit once in a while.
Sorry.
I'm just glad you're back.
Maybe I'll bring Cole with me when I come back. I think you'd like him. He's different, but nice.
I mean, they can all come if they want, but we're watching the rogue. I have heard things about him, and I know who he was with.
Yeah. I mean, you're right, but hey, I left the other rogue, remember? If you were keeping tabs on me, you probably heard about that.
A father must not reveal all of his secrets. Just know I'm keeping my eye on you.
That means yes.
So,
Are you keeping an eye on me?
what?
Do I even want to know how you're keeping an eye on me?
I have my ways. I am an elf after all.
Okay, well,
Tomorrow, you'll join us for dinner? Okay.
do you want to enter the dancing competition at the Fleeting Sparrow with me?
Oh, no. Yeah. It's a little far, and I'm a little north of 300 these days.
Okay.
But stay safe.
Well, I better go and meet back up with them before they worry that I died somewhere.
Well, better them than me. And that he'll give you another hug.
Again, head out.
as you're leaving, your mother like opens the door and she like runs after you, and she has in her hands what seems to be a it's a package. You don't know what's in it, but you'll have to open it to find out.
I'll open it when I get back to the inn, but I'll give her a really fierce hug. How big is my mother?
She's definitely full dwarven. You know, it's hard to tell where her shoulders turns into her chest turns into her hips. She's stocky.
I hug her, like pick her up and spin her a little bit.
Roll a strength check.
I'll see if I can pick up my mother and like move around even a little bit.
Can I roll dex instead?
That's a 12.
12? You think you're lifting her up, but you recognize she's just on her tippy toes. She's helping you out.
Compressing the shoulders.
Yeah, she's letting you.
Yeah. I love you, Mom.
I love you too. And don't worry about what your father says. He's an elf. He doesn't understand we need to get out and see the world.
Okay. I'll come back for dinner.
Tonight?
Probably tomorrow.
Good, we already ate dinner, but I could always warm something up.
Just scavenging through the pantry like a rat.
The people. A half-elf. A smaller man. Something I don't even know what he is. He always wears masks. He's weird. He's from Yun.
Okay. I'll figure something out, and I'll stick to what I know. I'm not much of a cook still.
Yeah, and I'm gonna take out 10 gold. This way we can have something really nice for dinner, yeah?
Oh, honey, we're doing fine. We don't need that.
Feel bad just suddenly bringing people home.
Don't you worry about it. And looking down at your mother, she is stocky, but she is still very well dressed. She has rings on every single finger. She is blinged out, even for a dwarf.
Maybe if she sold some of the bling she could afford to eat.
I'll be back. I love you.
I love you too, honey. That she's going to go on her tippy toes to try to kiss your forehead, but it's just thank you. She cups both sides of your head.
Like his whole forehead in return and then head off.
Alright. And with that, you head out of the most bougie neighborhood here, as your parents are indeed well off.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Cole and Arod. You can only spend so long polishing your armor, but if there's nothing else you want to do, eventually you do hear that music, so you guys just waiting patiently?
No, let's go. Are you ready?
Alright. Shalasha, you'll be joining as well. I'll let you know when, as you will also be hearing this music, but first and foremost, Arod and Cole, you guys are upstairs, and over the course of the last couple of hours, it has been getting progressively louder, and first it starts with a little bit of chatter, then it picks up and you hear the sound of boots coming in, and then you can hear a couple of people talking through the walls, but eventually what you hear is the sound of a lute drifting up. And unlike the words that are muffled, this music isn't. It's crisp in every single room in here, and it sounds almost like it's coming from all around you. Not from the door itself, but from the corners of this room. Still nice and muted though. When you guys talk in this room, the music almost seems to mute itself for you, and it's more of a background sound. But as soon as you're done talking, it picks up just a little bit, unless it annoys you, and then it seems to just stop. You almost have control of the volume in this room. It's weird.
Hmm.
Would I be getting back before the competition starts, considering it's like
Yes.
a half hour? It's like,
Yeah, you'll
fine.
be arriving pretty much at the same time as Shalasha if you want.
I'm gonna try and get there before him
Alright,
and pretend like I never left.
alright. Then I will keep that in mind. But first,
I'm gonna finish trying to braid my hair and just kind of like let it go in frustration and be like, AC was always better at this. And, like give up halfway through braiding and then give my hand to Cord. And be like,
Do you want to? Do you want a couple feathers to put in that?
you know what? That would be just
Yankee
lovely.
Doodle?
Just
Right.
lovely. And I'll kneel down.
I pull out some of the Ironbird feathers then.
they're
And
very
some
big
birds.
feathers.
Big. Big.
Maybe just like 2 then.
too.
Oh, perfect. Whatever
2
you
or
think
3.
is best.
You're gonna decapitate somebody with dancing with those in your hair.
Dip me. Spray of blood.
Alright.
And before we go down, I'm going to grab a strip of cloth and just hold it in my hand.
You look great. Really.
It's the shine, really.
I mean,
That's all
it
get.
worked. It really did a number on you. You look like a whole different dragon person, and I love it.
Thank you.
Let's go.
Nothing
We're gonna-
fancy. I don't know how to do fancy dances.
Oh, don't worry. Me either.
Alright. So that you guys are heading downstairs. Assy, you just want to arrive first. Is there any particular reason why you wanted to arrive first?
Looks like they're alone that I can try to persuade to enter the competition with me.
Actually, that entire couch section, it seems like there's quite a few people there. You could probably find somebody there. Some people are like staring at the dance floor, and you can pretty much guess why. And then you
Just the
still see the
wallflowers.
same. Well, you don't see them, but you can see someone with a notepad who's still last minute scribbling down names, and there's a little bit of a line forming in front of him.
I'm gonna go up to somebody that looks to be about the same height and build as me. Did you want to dance tonight?
Alright. Any particular? We'll say there is a stocky male dwarf. There is a couple of muscular females here as well that seem to be human, and then there's also like for yours, probably like a couple of dwarfs as well,
I'll ask one of the dwarves.
or a half dwarf. You could also find a half dwarf if you want. Alright, but you asked one of
Some-
the 12.
About my height, my build. Maybe a bit taller than me, but
Alright, male, female, does it matter? Are you trying to judge dancing ability at all?
more like somebody who looks like they would be fun.
Alright,
Like if anybody's tapping their foot to the beat and they look like they would enjoy dancing, that's who I'm going for.
you got it. You find exactly that. And yeah, they, like you said, they're tapping their foot to their beat. You can already gauge interest before you know the answer before you even ask. And you know they also nice beard, but they've like braided it into something, and they've put a couple of rings in it. It looks like they're trying to look affluent, but you already know. You've seen nicer jewelry. But they still cut a cutting figure. They're one of the nicer dressed people here.
Sounds like a perfect match.
Alright, so you guys sign up, and A-Rod and Cole, you guys come downstairs, and you can see Assy has this fine fellow, and they're on his arm, signing up together, A-Rod and Cole.
Gonna give him the. I see you.
I'm gonna like wink at you. Like,
I'll give a wink back.
Alright.
Like, good luck.
And as this is happening, another figure enters, and it is
Just so you know, it's going to be extra.
it's Shalasha, and he is definitely the most extra looking. He's already probably the tallest person here, and now he's even taller with this like golden halo around his head. His
So-
outfit. Go ahead.
as I come through the door, I use thaumaturgy because I'm allowed 3 effects. So number 1, the sound in the room gets muted. There's a call of a corvid, and everything is really dark, and just my eyes are super bright. It just accented by the lenses.
All of that happens except for the music getting muted. The music, like, it doesn't. Whatever it is, it's stronger than thaumaturgy, sadly. But
Okay,
people
well,
do
it's still
stop.
super dark
There
then.
is, like, people stop and look towards you. And all of you guys also see this figure in, like, this very nice blackish suit with red accents everywhere and a bright golden mask.
I've also trimmed my cloak to basically I've split up the back and feathered it out so it almost looks like corvid wings. So as I bow, it just kind of flows out.
You are the most extra looking figure here. There's a couple of other
Embrace
people that thought like they looked nice, and some of them are looking self-conscious at their outfits now. They're like, Jesus Christ, okay.
Age before beauty. Hello. And I'll just enter with a deep bow, and as soon as I get up, I'll start looking for Tala.
Alright. It's easy to spot her. She's currently at the top of the stairs waiting. Looks like she's wearing a nice... She's always had very deep green eyes, and she's wearing a dress that seems to accentuate that. Her skin is very, very tanned. You don't see a lot of her, because whenever she's wearing her robe, she has, cuffs all the way down to here, billowing kind of silken robes that help to deal with the heat of Yun. But with what she's wearing now, it's the opposite of that. It's green fabric, a lot of it is very skin tight, and it has very large cuts all the way up the legs. And she's in good shape. She's also, at this point, she's put on golden lipstick, and being a Yun Tai, she's always had kind of almost fangs, and she's also playing that up as well. She almost looks like a green vampire / snake with very tan skin that almost looks golden. And she seems to be doing something as well that's making her hair almost float, and it looks almost like her hair is moving and weaving itself into braids as she walks towards you. When she gets to you, her hair is now braided, and it looks almost like it's growing at the same time, and the braid kind of like snakes around her shoulder.
You know Hannibal Chow from Pacific Rim?
Yes.
You know how his boots have the overlapping
Yeah.
silver plating? I copied the same thing. I started taking a piece off my split mail and just overlapping it on my shoes, so they look a little bit more classy.
Jesus Christ.
Like, all out.
So, you two are the most extra looking couple here. For sure. But there is one other figure in this room, probably on par with you guys, and it's the person playing the lute. Off in one of the corners, they are actually sitting on what seems to be a table with a stool on top, is a red-skinned figure with curled horns. And they're currently playing this lute. Their face, it's difficult to see. They're actually wearing a very kind of checkerboarded outfit. And it's like 3 different colors. It's green, red, and blue. It's almost like they kind of look like a bit of a jester, is the look they're going for, but they managed to pull it off. It doesn't look silly, but definitely also doesn't look regal. It's almost... they're kind of difficult to look at, is the way I would describe it. Kind of difficult to look at.
I have one quick question. What's the name of my dance partner?
Your dance partner? You haven't asked, and they haven't given it yet. But with that...
She did say, by the way, I'm from Hilda earlier, but you got distracted describing
everyone else.
other things. Yeah.
Hank.
Hank?
Yes, Hank.
Hank.
Does Hank hop a lot of fences?
Huh?
Does Hank hop a lot of fences?
No, he's a nice half-dwarf gentleman. He seems to be doing his best to look... he's dressed up. You can ask him if you want, and you can try to get to know him if you want. Roll an insight check.
I'm gonna tell him what We see.
Every time you look
some-
away because you don't have a mic, you go to 0 volume because you're on your phone. You gotta look at us when you talk, please.
Like,
I'll be right back.
I'm saying. When we see Salashar and Tala appear, I'm gonna turn to him and say, some people need to rely on fancy tricks. Because, you know, they aren't gonna be that good at dancing. They do realize this is a dancing competition and not a pageant, right?
So what you're saying is pull out all the stops.
We're gonna do our best moves.
This he
Keep
kind of
up,
like
right?
he puts his hands on your hips and he like lifts you up. And he finds out you're
Yeah.
relatively light and he goes, "Do you like flying?"
I love flying. You promise to catch me?
Oh, I'll catch ya.
Wonderful. Can't wait. And I'm gonna try to like build a little bit of a rapport with him, like build some familiarity before we dance, because I feel like that'll make it better when we do, you know? Having fun.
Okay, that we're trying to wait for Alex to get back and we'll get on into the dancing competition. But the room is definitely filling up rather quickly, and as more people come in, some of the barmaids have started to show up and they're like pushing tables off to the side and they're starting to like clear this space. Eventually, your host, the man that took everyone's names, kind of like clears his throat. The music drops, even though the person is still playing, and this guy's voice actually just gets louder. And he makes an announcement, and he goes, "Good evening, everyone. Thank you for attending the Fleeting Sparrows Dance of Freedom. I believe we are getting ready to do the dancing. We have a couple of judges. I, of course, will be one of them. Serenity," and he points over to one of the barmaid. Sorry, towards the bard. We'll also be keeping an eye, and then a couple of other barmaids, namely Hilda. Well, let you guys know. We don't really have a lot of rules for this thing. Just have fun. No weapons on the dance floor, and the more you drink, we're a little biased, I'll be honest. So remember, it's maybe not about just how good you move, but also how much you drink. And as long as you keep dancing, last one standing also gets points for that. So show some flair, show some of that camaraderie spirit that we're known for here, and keep those cups full, and we'll have ourselves a good night. And with that, first round is on, and he points to some random guy. This fellow.
I'm going to be buying drinks for me and Hank. Like, before we dance, I'm gonna spend like 2 gold getting us well lubricated. I hope Hank can hold his liquor. If not, I'm holding 12 hours.
Make a con save for me.
I'm actually decent at Constitution, unlike real life. Ho ho! 16, 17, 18.
Oh yeah, easy. You're feeling nice and loose though. You're feeling good.
Can you feel it now, Mr. Krabs?
And with that, the music is starting to pick up, and and all of the tables at this point have been moved out. Anyone that seems like they wanted space are now kind of like arranged around the edge of this room. And
I'm
the
also the leader and nearby my friends.
So my question for you guys is, where do you guys want to try to position yourselves within this dance room? And if you guys want to do anything about it to try to even the odds or increase the odds, let me know. If not, we could either go for style, in which case it'll just be dexterity, acrobatics, athletics checks, those sorts of things, or charisma checks. Or you could just try to be the last people dancing, and we'll start doing constitution saves. You guys let me know which way you would like to roll this.
I am gonna cast guidance on myself just because I'm a little rusty.
Okay.
I want to go for the dexterity checks and acrobatics.
Alright.
I'm good for pretty much whatever.
Pretty much whatever, so you're just gonna see where it goes?
Yep, but I think endurance. I think I'll do pretty well. Con saves.
Alright, cool. Anything else to keep in mind for your dancing style?
Uh,
I can drop it.
just in case of something really bad happening. Oh wait, no, this is going to be going on for too long for that. Never mind. I am going to take the cloth that's in my hand and wrap it around my head so it completely covers my eyes. So I'm going to do this entire thing blind.
Okay.
And, I think I'll go with athletics.
Athletics.
Or performance, either one.
Has Kurt ever
Yeah,
danced
athletics.
before in his oh-so-long life?
I've watched the other kobolds do it.
You got it. Alright, good enough for me.
And I'm going to try to position myself in a spot where the light will glint nicely off of my armor.
Okay. And
I think
what about Assy?
Does Hank have a scarf by any chance?
He does now.
Yeah? I'm gonna say I can do something very fun when we're dancing. Do you mind if I show you a little trick?
Do you nod his head and goes, no, please, go ahead.
My trick of putting a coin into pocket space and then pulling it out from somewhere else entirely. Think we can use your scarf with this?
Maybe beyond my comprehension, but I'm willing to trust the lady.
I think you just broke the laws of physics for a dance recital.
I'm gonna use scarf while I'm dancing. I'm definitely going for making it showy and fancy, but
She's just gonna make
I
it
wanna
appear and disappear at random.
yeah.
Alright, so do you want
We'll have the scarf,
I
open
see
it
your
out,
extra.
go back into his arm, get throwing, pull it out as I'm throwing, so then it's trailing, fun shit like that.
Alright.
But I also want to stay dancing as long as we can.
Alright, so you're going for Constitution in the end, but we'll start with a little bit of dexterity sort of thing then.
Want to catch some attention. I'm gonna wait for the first little bit, get a feel for each other, and then once we've danced for 5 minutes or so, then I'm gonna start bringing it.
Alright.
Yep, I'm gonna go for athletics into Constitution.
Okay, so you're also
Um,
going for that long haul sort of thing.
And then I'd like to position us kind of off center. So if there's a smaller center circle, I just want to be on the outer ring, not on the edge of the actual ring itself. And as we're dancing, I'm going to use thaumaturgy, and there's going to be shadows dancing, taking form, and basically kind of moving with our shapes.
How about we start with everyone making your first roll, and then we'll get into describing this and see how it goes. And we'll probably, if you want to do things or bust things out, let me know. But I got the thaumaturgy, I got the scarf, I got shiny armor reflecting.
So for my athletics was 19 plus 4.
So, 23.
For my acrobatics, it's a 19 plus 6 or for a 25.
Damn, bitch.
Okay,
I'm not
okay.
Just breakdancing.
Oh, I'm hit down.
Up performance.
Cool, what
So
did we
four-
get?
Push-ups.
Alright, Ashley, what
Total
did
of
you get?
6.
16. That's all I got. I thought I was trained in acrobatics. Turns out, no. It's stealth and sleight of hand. Could I use
Alright,
sleight of
I'll do
hand?
so much.
Yeah, you can do sleight of hand.
Yeah. Let's roll some sleight of
No,
hand.
you already rolled, just add your mods to it instead.
My sleight of hand. Okay. That is 16. 19.
19. Alright.
19 then.
Cole.
Total of 6.
Oh, Court.
Yeah.
I love you so much. I love this character, but you
Alright,
cannot
well,
roll to save your life.
So,
Dance.
That's part of the character, though. That's how I know he's in form.
alright, so we will start with Shalashar and Tala. And as she, what kind of dance do you guys want to do? Is it more of a close sort of dance?
I'm not good at anything fancy, to be honest. So we'll try something a little closer.
Alright. When she does put her hands on you, though, she actually casts fairy fire, and both of you kind of light up. And you're illuminated at the same time that you're playing with shadows. And you guys are just pretty much a light show as you guys are kind of like toiling and moving your way through this. It's definitely very eye-catching.
I kind of imagine the shadows are dancing around us, and they're almost casting like they're trailing behind us in their form, almost like an after.
Like an
what is it
echo
called?
as you guys go through.
Yeah, like a visual echo.
Alright. It's beautiful. Then we get to Hank and Assy. You guys are definitely being a bit more boisterous in the way you guys are moving. You guys are doing spins. You're being tossed in the air. Partway through, you realize that Hank has a bit of an edge as he's actually elbowing people as you guys are going. He's literally, he like throws you a little bit too far to the side and pushes someone out of the way. Like he is fucking people up just to like catch you. He's being a bit of a joke. And as this is going on, one of the people that he does hit is Cole. As Cole starts wrapping his face, this dwarf suddenly just boots you out of the way. You have no idea what hit you. You don't know where it came from, but you're just a little disorganized during all of this.
Amendments are
Arod,
back.
what are you doing as you see Hank kind of like cross-checks this kobold?
I thought he was a half elf.
Huh?
Is he a dwarf? Half
He's a half-dwarf.
a half dwarf.
You said
okay.
someone stalk you at close to your pants, someone tapping its feet. It was this guy.
Okay.
But I need to get to Arod first. Arod, you're dancing with Cole, and suddenly your dancing partner is a little checked. You're holding your own. You know, you're doing your work. What was the dance supposed to be like? Tell me about that, and then move into what happens when Hank comes through.
Imagine kind of like the Cowboys dance where they put the arm around each other and they start going around in a circle.
Yeah.
And then Cord just gets body checked by this guy. I'm gonna grab him on the shoulder real quick and turn him around and just say, "Hey, better say sorry for that."
He's still dancing, and he's going to try to just spin with you and keep it going. Can you make an acrobatics check?
Just like do-si-do.
Yeah, he do-si-does you, and he doesn't skip a beat. He's just on to the next one with Assy in tow. Hopefully, we'll
That's
find
a
out.
22 on acrobatics.
A 22. He got a 19 on the die, and he's up there as well. So you say this, and he kind of like takes you into this do-si-do, and he's like, "So he's trying to dance," and with that he kind of like spins away from you, catches Assy by the hand, and he keeps going. He doesn't break stride, and neither do you. But with
Okay.
that, we do get to the next round of dancing. So we're going to
In the middle where where we've like sort of cleared out our own space.
Yeah.
From being dicks.
well let's make another round of rolls, see how that goes, and then again we'll get into it and we'll kind of like tell a bit of story about this as it's going. We'll see how the night goes. Hopefully we'll have some high rolls, some low rolls, moments
That's
like
an
that.
11.
30-20.
15. I got a 16 for this.
16, all right.
Got a 17.
17.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20.
Nice, Cord.
All right. Why don't we start with, I don't know who wants to start this time. We'll start with Arod and Cole because you guys went last.
Yeah.
So Arod and Cole, what are you guys doing this time? Just sticking
Trying
back
to
to it?
Yeah, I'm trying to just get it in without my buddy getting shoulder checked.
I puff all of my scales so that the airflow actually hits the more sensitive skin underneath. Start using my blind fighting so I now know where everyone is around me. I just start off with doing the twist and kind of like the dance scene in Pulp Fiction.
Okay.
What about the sprinkler?
Alright, you do start to pick it up in this second half, now that you're not being body checked by half-dwarves and whatnot. And it is working as well with Arod. Arod, I'm assuming you're complimenting with your partner for this, or anything you want to do?
I am trying, yeah, no.
Alright, it does catch you a little bit off guard. You know, you're not quite as good as you were in the first part, but you're hanging in there. You're not the worst. There are people that are starting to not get up in the wake of Hank. There's other people dancing like Hank. Closer to the center of this dance floor, it seems more civilized. But the outside is definitely turning
It's
kind
just a
of
fucking
into a
hoedown.
brawl. Yeah, and into definitely a hoedown. And the barmaids at this point, anyone on the edge, you realize like the barmaids are also just constantly handing out alcohol to anyone that kind of comes in their way. Assy, you're still with Hank, and you can see he's. Go ahead.
I'm gonna take us over to get some drinks while we're dancing. I'm gonna lead us there
Okay.
and try and like drink while we're dancing, and I'm also gonna try and maneuver him so he isn't as close to people.
Okay. Which is good, because you see, like, he has that drink, and he starts to, like, you know he's not drunk, but he's drinking sloppily and, like, pouring some of it on the floor as you guys are dancing. He is the epitome of dirty dancing, and not in a sexy way.
This sounds exactly like my favorite dance partner from 3 years ago. I love it.
But, you know. Meanwhile, we have Shalashar and the lovely Tala. You guys at this point have kind of taken over the center. You know, Assy and Hank have their own zone kind of on the border of the civilized lands and the hoedown. And people are avoiding them at this point, but you guys have just kind of naturally made it to the center, and being the flashiest couple there, have
How
managed to,
many
move
windows
away.
are around the building here?
They're mostly along the front side of the building. You know, there isn't a lot of natural light that gets far into here, and you can tell it's probably because they prefer to have control of the light that gets in and out of this building. There's lots of, you know, chandeliers, including the really ungodly 3-tiered antler thing.
At the windows at the front of the building, there's going to be a bunch of shadows that are manifesting and actually coming to. Have you seen the Heartless from Kingdom Hearts? Like those little humanoid animals? Those are basically what the shadows look like, and they're wrapping on the windows. And then
So
one by one,
creepy.
each window snaps open, and the smoke pours in and comes around us and forms almost like a Parthenon shape as we're dancing and spinning with the lights.
Guys are so fucking. People have like stopped dancing by the windows, and like more people are gawking at you two at this point. And with that, we'll get into the third round. Tal is just kind of, you know, letting you do your thing. You know, she's keeping the fairy lights going. She's keeping step with you, but she's mostly letting you lead at this point. Last round of dancing. This we'll say will be a con check, and we'll see who's able to keep this up.
Ooh. Constitution. Full family
Hell yeah.
now. 19 plus 2. 21.
22.
22.
No drum.
Constitution is my best stat.
And A-Rod
16.
16.
Yeah, con is not my stat.
Alright, Cole, what'd you get?
You're a ballerina.
Yeah, I have a really
We
good
love you.
constitution, but that was a natural 1.
Ooh.
Yeah.
To an advantage because you have blind sense.
That just lets me like not bump into people.
Okay.
Constitution is my second best stat.
12.
So, we will start with Shalashar and... What did you get, Shalashar?
22.
22. Yeah. You guys are good. You guys are able to just keep this going. People around you are definitely starting to lose steam, but you guys are still keeping the beat. You're keeping it going. And yeah, it's going well for you. Other people have started to, like, you know, people are watching, people are leaving at this point. You're going to be one of the finalists standing here. A-Rod and Cole. You can see that Cole is definitely starting to slow down at this point. You know, maybe, like, you know, when he went down, he kind of, like, you know, bumped his knee a little bit, and it's kind of like slowing him down at this point, and you can see it. You guys probably couldn't make it, but you could probably try to, like, keep on going if you wanted alone, A-Rod. It's up to you.
Hey, it's alright, little buddy. I know you kind of got checked there.
I'm not sweating because I can't, but I'm panting real hard.
Hey, it's alright,
I
man.
love
We
the
did our
malt.
best.
I love the flavor.
We had fun, though. We had fun.
I need to cool down.
Yeah, let's go get you a drink, buddy. I'm gonna
Water,
start pulling him
juice.
towards the bar.
Oh yeah, there's like
Beer.
drinks pretty much pressed into your hands as soon as you like start to like leave the dance area, and as people have started to give out and like give up, you can see like tables have started to be like brought back out, and the dance area is slowly shrinking in, and it's getting smaller and smaller. Ava, so you guys can go. You can get your drinks. Meanwhile, Assy and Hank.
Yeah.
What did you get again? You also got like a 19, didn't you?
21. I got a 19
21.
plus
That's what it was. Hank's
21
also,
plus.
he's hanging in there. But now that it's shrinking, people are like back in his back in his area.
We call this the fuck zone.
Yeah, we call this the fuck zone. So, for this last round, as this will be the last round, it can either be, you can try to, yes, Cole?
Just in case they need it, I'm going to cast Bless. One on Assy, one on Salshar.
Okay. So, we're getting to the final ones. You guys can either make con saves, dex saves, any check that you want, and tell me in which way you would want to use it between you two. And A-Rod, if there's anything you want to do as well, feel free to let me know. If not, I'm assuming you're just have a nice drink, hanging out with your lizard buddy.
Yep, that's about right.
So you make your roll, tell me what it is.
And sorry, we can choose any
can be
stat we want.
A dex save, a con save, or a skill check of your choice, but tell me how it pertains to this.
Plus, we'll give you a D4 on a save.
Does that count? That doesn't count towards this though, unless I do like the con save or the dex save,
unless
right?
it's a save.
Okay. I'm gonna do a dexterity saving throw just to like keep up and like keep going fancy and elegant and
I want to do something that's, I think, Constitution,
Okay.
but I basically want to pick Tala up, and I want to swirl her around while the snakes kind of form around us, making like a serpent shape.
Okay. And Assy, we'll start with you this time, as you are the only one that hasn't gone first yet. So, what does it look like as you're dancing with Hank? You can see, like, he's definitely feeling like he could take out a couple more people here, but he is, his focus is on you right now. You can stop him if you want and tell me what's going on, or you can leave him to his own devices. You're muted. You're still muted.
Okay, so that is a 16 on the die, plus 3 from the bless, because I went with the dexterity saving throw, plus 5. So 16, 21, 22, 23, 20, 24.
Okay.
Right? 24?
Yep.
Yeah. That's right. So to be fancy, I've got a 24. I'm gonna try and keep him from getting too aggressive.
Okay.
Yeah, elbow people when they get in your space, but come on, we don't need to go looking for trouble.
Alright. But it's gonna
But
be
I don't.
Alright, but since it's a dex save, then you rein your partner in a little bit. You kind of like, we'll win this the right way. We don't need to, keep throwing elbows here. So instead, you guys go into, again, more of like the aerial thing. And the last little bit of this dance is just him kind of tossing you into the air and just trying to get you higher and higher with each step. So he kind of like throws you, does like a spin, catches you, throws you higher, does another spin, and he's just like, it's dwarf tossing in the middle of this thing.
If he does, like, I make a show of it. Like, if I'm in the air for a moment, I try to like pose a little bit. I'm bringing the scarf in and out of my pocket space. I'm swirling it around.
You guys are indeed, again, like you're doing good. You're looking good. Meanwhile, Shalisha and Tala. Again, you kind of have the lead, so you tell me, what'd you roll and how does it pertain?
So I got a 16 on my dice, plus my guidance that I cast on myself, plus bless, plus my 5 in con. So that brings me up to 28.
Okay.
Basically, incrementally as we're dancing, like I was describing the serpent, I basically start lifting Tala up, and I start putting more and more of her weight into my hands as I literally pick her up and spin her to become this serpentine figure. The shadows will actually crawl around me and start forming almost like a lattice of scales over top of both of us, drowning us out, and it's going to end in a giant serpent's head. And as it peaks, there's going to be a call of ravens.
Okay. Tell you what, final tiebreaker then. So at this point, the music is now starting to come down, and like again, the announcer comes up and he's like clapping, and he's like, "Well, that concludes tonight's dance, but sadly we don't quite know who wins, so why don't we leave it up to the audience?" So I want to get a charisma check from both of you. And we'll see
Can it be
who. Persuasion is charisma.
I'm trying to persuade them to vote for me.
Yeah.
Like-
Well, there's a straight con save, I'm afraid.
Damn. Oh, that's not good.
Charisma.
That's an 11 to die plus.
Don't worry.
2.
You guys too. That's right. We have Hank though, and we also have Tala ruling as well. What'd you get,
Hank.
Shalashar?
I got a 13 minus 1,
13.
so
Alright.
12.
So, the guy that really steps up and kind of steals the show here is Hank, who maybe it's a little bit of fear, maybe it's something else. Everyone, they clap for you. It's a loud applause. It's almost close, and then it goes to the second round, and this time Hank's like, really getting into it, really trying to get the audience, and they win. And with that, everyone's, clapping, everyone's cheering. The night's kind of dying down now. And it's announced that Hank and Assy, you guys are tonight's dancing champions for the Freedom Dance. Drinks are on us for the rest of the night, and your room will be comped.
I kind of want to speak up, and I just want to raise my voice a little with thaumaturgy. I was like, and may I give a special thanks, and I'll gesture over to A-Rod and Core, this lovely couple.
Hey, we'll take it.
And I'll give a deep bow.
I bow as well, and then I go down and I sit on Avon's lap. I can't walk up to the bed today.
I'll carry you. It's okay. We know you did good out there. You look great, really. You all look great. I mean, poor Cord over here got kind of checked by your partner, but
I tried to rein him in.
yeah, he was poor out. He was out there. This poor guy. Look at him
Yeah, and
drinking water.
Hank was kind of like watching this interaction, and as soon as he sees like you sit on his lap, Hank just like changes and goes to a different lady. He's like,
Oh,
he's, he's read the room.
You fickle being, you.
He's like, I'm gonna get some!
Oh, no.
Well, he still
Also-
is. Like, if you watch, you see, like, he immediately just picks up someone else. He's like, tonight's dancing champion, baby. What do you say? And they head upstairs.
Also,
Yippee-ki-yay.
He, like
Can you
his
braid
dancing,
my hair, AC?
he doesn't miss a beat.
I tried. I tried to, and Cord even stuck these lovely feathers in here, but it's a mess.
It was the first time I was.
You did great, really. I mean, it just wasn't that good.
No.
We have a bath. I'll braid it so then tomorrow it'll be nice and wavy. And before we have dinner with my parents, I'll make it really nice.
I'm sorry, what? We'll have the what with your who?
We have dinner plans for tomorrow.
Oh, shit.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm game. I know they're gonna love me. Everyone always loves me.
You've got to be on your best behavior. Apparently they've been keeping track of what I've been up to since I left home.
I am insulted. I am always on my best behavior, I'll have you know.
My dad knows what you used to do.
Oh. Oh. Well, okay then.
So be on your best behavior.
I shall be on my best behavior.
Alright. So with that, the night is kind of coming to a close. I want to take a quick little, what do you think, 5, 10, 15-minute break? You guys tell me. 5-minute break?
Good with
Sure.
5.
That's fine.
5? Alright, in that case, we'll see everyone back here in 5 minutes. And we'll pick it up here, or we'll pick it up on the next morning. We'll leave it up to you guys.
Yep.
But BRB, super fast.
So who was it?
Okay, I'm assuming we're good to go. So,
Connor, Justin asked you a
Of course you
question.
didn't hear me.
yeah, I was deafened.
Does 7 days sound about right since we've started traveling?
I can.
Because I forgot to keep track.
It's 3 days Thorn Bluff, 2 days traveling from Red River, 1 day south to
I think we're on day 8. I
Okay,
can
so-
nail that down for you, and I can get back to you if you want, because I do
No,
keep
8.
track.
Okay, we'll just call
I
it
was pretty much on the money anyways.
Let's see.
This is actually gonna make a 9.
Okay, there it is again. So, guys, then we'll get back to this. Yeah, because I was keeping track until then. I can do a little bit of math and I'll get back to you. But yeah, 8 days sounds about right. I also lost track there on the last session or two. So I'll just need to go back and double check how many days passed.
It's okay. We'll call this this new morning as day 9.
Alright, day 9 it is. So, with that, you guys, I'm assuming you're going to get through the rest of the night, enjoy the little bit of free drinks if you want it, and then head up to bed. If I'm wrong, please correct me and tell me what you would like to do instead.
No.
I'm probably gonna ask Tala what she's how she feels. So, how are you feeling after the dance?
Exhausted. Definitely haven't done anything like that in a while.
Yeah, neither have I. I don't think I've. Short of once in my childhood, but that was a long time ago.
I haven't shared a room since the boat either, so...
I'll get it.
What do you mean?
You want to share a room?
Well, we already paid for the room, I'm saying that. Are you as dense as the armor you wear?
Well, we paid up front, but if there's anything to be comped. If you want any food, if you want anything else, I got it.
Oh, well, in that case, I could do with a meal.
Please, whatever you'd like. But, thank you for dancing with me.
Well, thanks for inviting me. It was you or the dwarf, probably. The dwarf wasn't there.
Please, and I'll wave her forward after you.
I'm like 3 seats down the bar, leaning over. I'm a 12.
With that, she just heads upstairs.
I'll follow suit.
I'm also gonna drag A-Rod and Cole if he's amenable to wherever you were allowed to wash up.
Alright.
Take turns scrubbing each other's hair.
Yep, I'll go.
I cannot say no to a bath.
I find it so much nicer to go to bed clean, you know?
I agree.
And I'm
Just
so
to
sweaty
be
after
clean.
that dancing. Like, God.
You did great, by the way. Good for you.
Thank you.
Except your partner was kind of an asshole, but and
Yeah.
I almost stabbed him, but it's okay.
I still have his scalp.
Keep it.
If he asks for it back, I'll give it back. I just forgot. Oopsies.
Alright.
You're such a shit.
Go to bed. Braid A-Rod in my hair, and then go to bed.
You're not gonna braid Cole's?
Does Cole even have hair?
No.
He has the nicest hair. How dare you?
Do you have a frill?
No.
Just horns?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yep.
Got it.
Just
Got
horns
it.
and scales.
Alright.
I'm gonna put one of my little silver cups on. Like, I have little silver cups for, like, my hair. I'm gonna put one on the end of his horn after we have a bath.
Which one?
Just a simple one
Well,
with,
I mean,
like,
the right or the left horn?
oh, Is he? Oh, you're right or left-handed?
Right?
I'll put it on the left side.
You sure?
Put it on the right.
No, I mean, like, giving me one of your cups. Or whatever those things are.
Like, look at this, and I've got like, I've easily got a dozen little silver cuffs and hoops and stuff in my hair.
Well, thank you.
You earned it tonight.
Like a mix of silver and gold, probably.
Alright. Meanwhile, as you guys are going, getting nice and cleaned up, you find yourself alone with Tala. And she pretty much immediately sends you downstairs to go get 2 bottles of wine and some food. She tells you, figure it out basically. You're a smart lad.
I beg to differ, but okay.
And when you get back upstairs, she's passed out on the bed asleep. Guess she was
I figured.
tired.
Yeah, so I'll put the wine on the table, probably small table or nightstand, and I'll tuck her in.
Alright. You going to bed as well, or
Yeah,
shall I
I'll
shout
start,
things as always?
I'll probably start getting undressed and just kind of settling for the night, same as usual.
Alright. And the rest of you, same thing?
What do you think they're doing up there?
I don't think it's any of our business.
Mm-hmm.
I have a question for you guys. Does this room have 1 bed or 3? Or 2?
How many
If you
rooms
take
does-
it, if you cut it in half, it has as many as you want.
How many beds are in this room, DM?
When you get up there, did you specify A-Rod when you paid or no?
No, I didn't.
Then it's just 1.
So,
Cuddle
guess we're gonna
pudding?
cut tonight.
Guess we're all 3 gonna squeeze in there.
I don't take up much space.
You can be in the middle, Cole. You'll be like our Teddy.
Teddy?
Yeah, you know,
Yeah.
like,
It's a teddy.
okay, so Teddy is like a plush bear that your parents give you when you're really little, and it's meant to fight away nightmares and monsters that live under the bed.
I've never had one of those.
Well, we're going to have dinner at my parents' place tomorrow. I'm pretty sure Nugget is still in my room. I'll show you him when we get there.
Okay. Don't worry about nightmares. They usually run from me.
Good. All the more reason why you should go Teddy tonight.
Oh, okay.
I
I'll,
feel like you're really good at fighting off nightmares for people.
Oh, I've had experience.
I believe
Oh.
it.
And I'll, like, pop up in between them and, like, start kneading a nice little spot and curling up and just generally being
Like
a
a
nuisance,
cat?
much like a cat would.
A scaly cat.
Yep.
Spoon around him, but I reach across him to like grab onto A-Rod.
Alright. And with that, you guys are all tucking down for the night? Alright. Cool, high or low?
Low.
Can you make a wisdom save for me?
Good. Oh, yeah, that's it.
Weren't we supposed to meet Nikolai at some point?
Ooh! Well, fuck that dice too. That's a natural 1.
Natural 1. It's funny, the last thing you said about nightmares running away from you.
How ironic.
As this night, surrounded by your friends, probably the closest that you have been, you have trouble you're asleep, you actually end up seeing something. Seems like you're back at home. You can see your clan around you. You can see Obra-Dinn, the leader of your group, and you know, every morning you would always do this. The kobolds are a very close community, and this is what this kind of reminds you of, that closeness. Every morning you guys would wake up, you'd gather in the halls of your mind, you guys would have dinner together, it would be stories, it would be laughter, it would be closeness. And then you remember that wasn't you. You were never really accepted. And suddenly everyone starts moving away from you. And then above you, lights. 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 lights turn towards you. It's blindingly bright, and then you wake up. And again, you're panting heavily between your two friends, and you're unable to get a long night's rest.
Does he wake either of us up with his like nightmare thrashing?
I don't think he thrashed. That's up to you.
Just fucking night terrors. The bed is turned into a mosh pit.
I
Enough to wake us up?
wake up with a jolt, but not really enough to disturb other people too much.
Alright, they just kind of like groan off to your side a little.
And I just lay there awake all night and curl up in a ball a little bit tighter and wrap my tail around myself and start sucking on the tip of my tail for most of the night.
That is
Aw.
unbear adorable.
And with that, we get to the next morning. Decently
During-
quiet. Go ahead.
Sorry. During some part of the night, I would have curled up in bed with Tala. Keep her warm.
Alright. Same outfit you danced in?
Yeah, I would have changed into something a little bit more comfortable.
Alright. So that the next morning comes, and actually everyone is kind of awoken when one of the barmaids kind of comes through, tapping on everyone's door and just announcing, breakfast downstairs. Goes to the next one, same thing. It's not an intrusive knock, but it's a nice soft little rapping at the door. However, a Rod, who isn't here, but Ashley and Cole, you guys would still get it. When she taps on your door, she also says, someone's downstairs for you. Sorry, A-Rod, I was just saying that when this barmaid comes through and she stops at your door, she announces that there's someone downstairs for you guys.
Huh? What? Someone's down. Oh, someone's downstairs for us. What the fuck? What time is it?
Probably Nikolai, but I am hungry, so later losers. And I go downstairs in like just my tunic. It's long enough that it like kind of is a dress, but like I shouldn't bend over.
Oh.
I
So, like,
stumbled down without putting my armor on.
Finds a reason to touch your toes.
I've got undergarments on. Luckily.
Oh, Cord, are you ready? You good, man?
I'm already gone by the time you're like doing that.
Oh shit! I'm the only one in here. All right, I'm coming. I'm coming. I'll start wandering downstairs.
Dude, where's my kobold?
Alright.
Anyone see a kobold? Little
This is
scaly?
why I left
No?
my kobold. Alright, Shalasha, are you going down as well?
I'll head down with Tala.
She's like, nah, I'm sleeping a bit longer.
Then I'll just wait with her. I'm not in a hurry.
Alright, you guys go downstairs and you can see Nikolai, and it looks like he also has 3 armed figures just kind of like standing behind him, all with the same sigil, and he has a very large sack on the table.
Please
I'm
tell me
gonna
he's like face
Next
palming.
to him.
And he is wearing nicer clothes than you've ever seen. Everything is silver and blue, and it also looks like he has a very large new ring that's very eye-catching.
You clean up nice, that's for sure.
Yep.
Ooh.
My father insisted on paying you guys, so 2,000 gold.
Wow.
Sticks my head out the door.
2,000 gold.
Yes.
That's a
And
lot.
we will be joining my father for dinner tonight, as he would like to
Well.
meet you guys.
Well, we kind of got plans tonight for dinner.
With my parents.
Yeah.
Just invite the entire family.
I don't know if you really want to say no to him.
No. To him.
We'll go to my parents for lunch and we'll tell them. Unfortunately, we were invited to dinner with your father. Would you mind,
Would you
What?
mind what?
Nikolai? Would you like to come along and have lunch at my parents?
Unfortunately, I have a couple of other things to deal with. I was just here to drop off payment on behalf of my father to let you know you're invited for dinner. And that's really about it. And these fine gentlemen were just here to escort me. That's all. Danny and Sarah, they're still staying at with my father.
Could I bring my parents to dinner?
You could, but I would probably advise against it, you know? He's
That's fair.
pretty business oriented. So,
We'll tell them we'll do dinner tomorrow. We'll show up for lunch. Tell them we'll do dinner tomorrow.
I guess, I'm sure.
5 p.m. Try not to be late.
We'll try.
Okay. Okay, well, and again,
Pick up some new clothes anyways. Now we definitely do. Well, you guys do. I probably have something good enough at home.
and again, thank you guys for getting me here safely and in one piece. That comes from both me and my father.
Glad it all worked out, bud.
Oh, that's good.
He must
that guy-
really hate his status.
So I would definitely say, don't leave this on the table for too long. It might grab some couple of eyes.
Yeah,
Yup.
I'm gonna. I grab it and I push down and it disappears.
Ah.
Yeah. and So A-Rod, you grab it and you just feel it like leave your grip.
Oh, it was so beautiful for a second. Oh my god, I could feel the weight. Did you feel how heavy that sack was?
Yeah.
No, but I heard it.
Oh.
It was
We'll
an
split it
audible sound.
I'll
I asked
split it
it.
up somewhere a little more private, you know?
Yeah, that's probably wise.
And
I asked the server if they have any drinks that like wake you up, give you some energy.
and at this point, you, A-Rod, also look around. You realize you are the only people awake. No one else was brought downstairs.
Time is it?
And with that, Nikolai kind of like stands up and goes, I'll see you guys at 5 p.m. And it's about 6, 7. Anyways,
Jesus.
as he like pushes back from the chair, the 3 guys with him like just step back, and he walks out, and these guys like follow him, and they're like in lockstep. They seem well trained.
Nikolai,
Yeah, Nick.
my previous offer, right?
I remember, but it won't be necessary. That he makes his way out. And at this point, like, you realize, like, A-Rod, with your perception, you can see, like, a barmaid, like, peeks her head out, and then she, like, peeks her head back in, and then the barkeep comes out.
Yep.
And he shows up, and he has a menu. He passes that out to you guys, and he goes, you guys already won, so that's fine, but that nice gentleman also offered to cover your meals, but again, it's already covered. So yeah, I'll just give you a moment with this menu, and I'll see you in a bit.
Whatever you recommend.
And bacon pancakes.
I love how awkward he is. Like, the minister of the town just paid for food, and he's like, I'm not gonna fuck this up.
bacon pancakes, and whatever I recommend, that'll be the bacon pancakes.
Extra bacon on the side.
With like so much ketchup piled next to it.
So much.
Okay, you guys,
Easy to drink.
So,
you got it. I'll bring the morning beer.
Yes.
No beer.
Please.
Not
No,
for
no, no beer for me. Beer for me. The kobold does not speak for me.
But I'll take a drink that like gives you some energy or something.
Mountain Dew. Get him Mountain Dew.
Mountain. The dew.
The Dew. Get him a Monster Energy drink.
Alright. So, with that, you guys are left at this table, and it sounds like there's people hard at work in the back. Shalashar, you can now also hear, like, it's kind of dawned to you now that it's been, like, really quiet, and now finally you can, like, hear again sounds kind of coming up. Sounds like, you know, people are starting to wake up, and the kitchen is being awoken as well, or at least utilized. Awoken's a weird word to use after you fought mimics.
As I'm waiting for Tala to get up, I'm gonna start getting up. I'm gonna start stretching, like cracking my knuckles, kind of like getting myself ready. And
Make a perception check for me, just for fun.
joke's on you. I'm good at perception. 21.
21. The only thing you realize is that Tala isn't actually asleep. You can see, like, her eyes are white, as if she's, like...
So she's looking through the eyes of her familiar.
Yep, you kind of, you know how long she's been like this. You know, you tried to wake her up, she said, oh, just go on. They made no move to get up, and she's, like, clocked out.
I'm gonna go kneel down near her. Tala.
But you're aware, like, you know, she can't hear or see or anything when she's in this state.
I'm gonna reach out and put my arm like on the bottom. I'm gonna put my hand on the bottom of her arm near her elbow, just like her tricep, and just kind of like a comforting reassurance, more or less.
Alright.
Since she can't hear or see me, I'm just gonna hold that for a minute, and then I'm gonna let go, and I'm basically just gonna sit down and wait.
Alright. You just want to, like, sit down in front of her when she wakes up, or where do you want to sit?
Yeah, I mean, I'll probably if there's a unimpeded wall, kind of like within line of sight, I'm just gonna sit there and just go through my things, gonna buff up my metal, stuff like that.
Alright. A couple of minutes pass, and she, like, you know, awakes with, like, a very large yawn and kind of, like, looks around for you. She goes, oh, that was a good night. I just woke up.
Where were you?
I was right here with you. What are you talking about?
I saw your eyes.
Oh, that? I was just taking a look around. That's all.
Alright, well, just wanted to make sure you're alright.
No, everything's fine. Everything's fine. So, what are we doing tonight? Today?
If I'm not mistaken, I heard downstairs that we were invited to Nikolai's father's place for dinner.
Okay.
So I guess we have a dinner with a big wig, and yeah, that's gonna be miserable.
Well, then I guess we better get dressed then, hey?
I suppose.
I'm going to probably do a bit of running around today, find something worth wearing, look into a couple of shops, but I will join you guys for breakfast first.
I'll kind of walk to the corner and I'll look back on my shoulder and it's like, please avert your eyes. I'm gonna turn back around, I'm gonna slide my shirt over my shoulders, I'm gonna reach down and grab my my woven tunic, I'm gonna put it on me. I'm gonna start fastening the clasps and the rest of my armor.
She's just staring at you, and then she's like, and now it all makes sense.
Try not to say anything.
You don't know what about that. I have a fascination with certain oddities, so.
Don't tell me you have an elixir for it. You can fix my affliction.
To fix skin that bad? I don't think I could offer anything.
Yeah. I've been around a while.
Well, don't worry, your secret is safe with me.
I'm just gonna kind of drop my head and keep fastening my armor.
Alright. And then after that, do you guys make your way downstairs, or?
Yep. I'll follow after Tala.
Alright. So as you guys are down there, your pancakes arrive, and almost on cue as well, Tala and Shalasha make their way downstairs. Unless you guys want to discuss anything before they arrive, that's up to you. If not, I'll just assume it's boring small talk.
Yep, pretty much as just running around.
I want to plan with them, like talk about like how we should probably get them nicer clothes. Dressed up a bit. Pretty rich now, you know.
What do you mean?
And since the room is empty now,
you're
I'm
not
gonna
there
divvy
yet.
up for each of us.
How much?
500, because you said 2,000, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's the 4 of us. Who else? Who's the 5th?
Go ahead, AL. Name them all.
I looked at Connor. I'm like, he's right there. Just
He's
kidding.
the
We are good. We are good.
Alright, so you sit down, you put a gold in front of Cole, Shalasha, A-Rod. Tala twiddles her thumbs watching.
Okay, okay, right, we put some to tout. How much then? James, do the math.
It'd be 400 apiece.
How much?
If the 4 of us were to get 500 apiece and add another person in, we'd each get 400. So she would get 400.
Okay, so 400 all around.
I'll take it. That's more money than I had,
Wow.
and that's theoretically for free.
Well, I mean, if he's going to keep paying, maybe this dinner will be a good thing.
Yeah, I haven't. This is more money than I've seen in
Ever?
probably 200 years.
Wow, really?
I mean, you don't exactly find gold pieces lying around at the bottom of a tomb. You find a lot of relics, a lot of rocks, but there's not exactly just bags of money lying around.
Really? I always kind of thought those places were gold mines.
If you
Like
find the right
spider
fits.
webs.
Love spider webs.
Guess that makes sense.
Sometimes you get a lot of flesh-eating lizards, but for the most part, unless you have a really good fence, or someone like me who can appraise really well, it's a little hard.
Well, that's disappointing to hear.
Wow. I hear the real gold is when you find lost cities, though. Much like the one that Danny and Sarah are looking for, so maybe that'll come up in this next conversation with the father.
Yeah, whatever. I'm gonna take a minute and mid-sentence, I just want to pause. Is there anything that I feel anything I feel pulling, Connor? Any direction, anything?
High or low?
High. Riding off the high from last night.
You don't really feel anything pulling, but in like this moment, you feel excitement. You feel like you're close to something. You don't know what it is yet. You don't know where it is, but you just know that you're close to something. And at this moment, the conversation is kind of, your concentration is broken as Tala speaks up and she goes, besides Matthias and the twins, are we worried at all about like the guy looking for the amber, or are we looking back towards the forest, or where are you guys headed next?
I mean, since you were speaking of the Lost City, I would love to see it. I mean, that's what I've spent my life basically looking through. And we did promise the girls that we'd deliver them. So I don't see why we wouldn't stay with them. At least until their job's done. As for the wizard with the amber, I mean, it was amber-colored glass, as AC had mentioned. So I want to be weary of him, because who else can tell the giant birds, basically, to use them as puppets? Someone would have to be pretty potent, or have a great deal of influence.
Personally, I was thinking about melting it down.
Well, we don't know what they're capable of. All we know is that they were able to direct a colossal bird of prey and used it as a puppet to try and find its failed phylactery. But if it's trying for a phylactery, that could be powerful, couldn't it?
Possibly, but they can't be that good if they thought glass would be a good enough phylactery. That's why I'm thinking, melt it down, turn it into something else. It's no longer his.
I mean, it's currently dust, isn't it?
I
On the
will
back.
also advise that those who don't understand something are sometimes the most dangerous.
That is point.
I agree. I think it's something that we should keep in the back of our minds. But I think we currently move forward and see if there's any other information we can get. If anything pops up or connects. But otherwise, we could keep going.
Besides that, if we do decide to move on, there is another fellow that I think is arriving today that we could also probably talk with and see if he wants anything. He's a bit of an odd fellow, though. But if we do want to move on, it would be worth probably checking in with him.
I would like to spend a little while here. Maybe a day or so?
I mean, we got
Well,
plans today.
Yeah. I promised my parents I would have dinner with them today, I guess tomorrow now, so. Gotta do that.
Alright,
I don't
well,
actually have to wear clothes, do I?
Don't have to, just, dress decently.
Well, then my armor
know?
will be fine. Speaking of, I'm gonna go put it on, and I go upstairs to start putting on my armor.
alright. This whole conversation is taking place over your pancake, bacon pancakes.
Making pancakes, making bacon pancakes.
And a teeny tiny stack for coal.
Because we like a fat ass.
Cobalt doing tiny booty claps. Alright, so with that, anything else you guys want to bring up, discuss, or anything? Or what is the plan for today? You are muted, you silly boy.
Love you. I do want to go back to the Elven Blacksmith
Okay.
and ask him to make me some plate mail, now that I have money. I am a simple man. Let me take the bonk.
Okay, okay. Anyone else, anything you want to bring up, or?
I think we needed to get better clothes. Isn't that right, AC?
Yeah, we definitely need to tidy ourselves up a bit.
So head towards the nearest tailor.
Alright, Cole,
You
who are you
guys should
going with?
probably know that my name isn't actually Asapiel.
Bitch said
It's
what?
Fumhilda.
I like AC better.
Yeah.
That name is dead. You're AC.
You're AC to us.
Okay. I don't have a problem with that.
I will join Sal going to the go to the blacksmith.
Alright, I will start with Shell first, and I'll jump to you guys. Assi and Arod, figure out if you want to go to a nicer tailor, and then if you want it to be like, the tailor's mill or like someplace with some obvious more Sigwolf sort of influences. It's kind of a defining feature in this town, where it's like those that still kind of cling to where they've come from, and those that have more like embraced more of like their life on Shar. And there's definitely a bit of a clear divide that you guys kind of become aware of as you walk through the streets as to who belongs to what
Okay.
group. Alright, but Ava, Cole, and Shalashar, you guys arrive at the blacksmith. Looks like he's currently just getting everything nice and stouted. He's laying his tools out, he's looking over some things, and he looks at you as you come in, and he gives you a nice little smile, and he sees the kobold, and he goes, I see you've brought a friend with you.
This is my companion, Core. And I'll give it a little nod, and I'll gesture to Core.
Right, he'll give you a nice little bow, and he goes, assuming you're here for more than just telling me how well my work was?
Yes, actually. Before we get on that, Core, if you'd like, you can go first.
Actually, I just wanted to get a quote. My armor needs a bit of an upgrade. You think you could like reinforce it or anything?
I probably could. So are you wearing pots and pans?
Well, some of it is.
Okay, well, I'm sure I could do something to help that. Out of character, what kind of armor are you wearing?
Gale? Let's see here. Nope, chain.
Shane.
So basically medium armor.
Yeah, no, I could
And out of-
definitely do something for you. What do you have in mind?
Out of character, out of game. I just want to price quote on upgrading to plate. Plate,
Well,
quote unquote.
you guys should know that a full thing
Yeah.
of plate is very expensive. Very expensive. Upwards of 1,000 gold. It's a lot of moving pieces, a lot of intricate things. I mean, even that glove that you have, I need you to just appreciate all of the finer pieces there.
Yeah, I'll just save up then.
But we could perhaps get to half plate or something for just over 600-700.
I think I'll just save up instead. Good to know, though.
I'm sorry to disappoint.
No, it's all right. I didn't know it was that so much.
Well, it's not cheap, especially, upgrading, making it. A single suit will take me roughly 6 or more months. So it's a large time commitment to make such a thing. And unlike chainmail, where you're just bending rings and adding rings, subtracting rings, this needs to be shaped, it needs to be molded, it needs to be riveted, it needs to be backed, it needs to have buckles. It's really a whole process. So now that I've dashed your dreams, is there anything else I can do for you?
Yeah, while you help Sal here, could I borrow your grindstone to resharpen my spear?
Sure, go ahead. Uh, you look like you know your way around it, so.
I can handle it.
Alright.
I'll go off and do that.
As Kor walks away, I'll nod a greeting and speak good morning. Speak good morning in Elven. So, considering plate is very expensive, I wanted to know if we'd be able to. How do I begin this? I wanted to know if you'd be able to make custom plate for me. I can pay partial upfront. I'm going to currently go out on a job, and I'm willing to piece it off. So,
Okay.
so I give you what I have, and you do what you can with that amount, and then we can keep coming back.
Okay, like I said, it'll take months.
Mhm.
So you could give me a down payment, I'll get to work, I'll finish it, and then show up at some point in the next couple of months, and I'll have it complete.
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay, with that in mind, why don't you tell me what you want?
Out of character, just make it easy. Basically, Aridin from The Witcher 3, he has that like skeletal plate mail. He has the skeletal crown with the
Is that
The
the
whole-
Wild Hunt dude?
I want basically a combination of his and Imlerith's armor. That's basically the rib cage is entirely like the entire chest is literally rib cages and reinforced. I want a skeletal kind of lattice with overlapping plates, so it looks skeletal in nature, but it's made out of plate.
I put down bone armor, and I'll get back to you on that. Sound good?
So that's more or less what I want. I have a certain style, you understand.
Alright, and let's just say when it's done and you show up, how much gold should I be expecting you to come with?
How much do you think for this? You're putting a lot of work. You are stylizing it quite a bit.
That's why I'm asking. You can tell me how much you're willing to pay, and I will take it from there. But it needs to be above, we'll say, 1,500.
$2,000, $2,500.
Okay, well that's a big wiggle room. Let's commit to one of those numbers.
If I cut back on my eating for a while, I can. We'll go with 2,500. You did me an awful favor.
2,500. Okay, well, I'll clear my schedule. I'll get to work. What are you putting for the down payment?
One more quick thing with that. I'll pull out 400 and I'll put it down as a down payment.
Appreciated.
As for the mask you made me yesterday, I really like it, but is it possible to manufacture one and basically have a completely metal cowl instead of the leather?
Yes, that is possible.
How much do you think for you to make that, and what's the time frame you need it?
70 gold? Give me... 3-4 days?
Alright. I'll just deduct it here. Okay. So I'll load 70 gold and I'll hand it over.
Okay.
And the only request is if it is possible to get it gold. I don't know if there's a heat trick you can use to actually tint it. If there's anything you know.
I can
Possible
find
to
a
be-
way to color it, but obviously you don't want actually made out of gold. So it will be
Be-
steel, but maybe it... I can get it close to straw, or I could go for more of a blue. Or I could try using some sort of magic for it. But, you know, magic things do have different properties. That's up to you.
Get it close to straw, and then maybe if there's anything you can do with magic to tint it a little bit more to a high shine.
No, I can definitely do that, but just remember, a magical thing that is magical, even if the properties don't really do anything, people searching for magic or things disabling magic could complicate it. That's the only reason I bring it up.
Of course.
Alright? In that case, I'll see you in a couple of days.
See you in a couple days. Thank you again.
Alright? Meanwhile, Assy and Avon, what kind of place do you guys want to go to? Unless there's anything else you want to do, Cole.
You are muted.
Not until after we've met up with the others.
Alright, you got it. Assy and Avon, you guys are up as teased.
I want just to impress, so.
I'm gonna take him to my favorite shop to get clothes.
Okay.
But like nicer clothes. I have like a shop where I get like my casual stuff and a shop that I go to whenever I need to dress up.
Okay, so south
We're
side,
going to the fancy side of town.
the fancy side of town. Okay, okay.
And I'm looking for something green and velvet.
How long have you
With-
been away from this town again?
Like 4 years?
3-4 years? Okay, cool. Cool. Thanks.
4 years. Something around that. Let's say 3. It's been a few years.
Alright.
But when I left, I did leave in the wake of a bit of a scandal within the jewel crafter
Yep,
community.
I recall. Alright, so we'll say you show him to the Silver Spindle. Nice, lovely place. The entire sign is written as if it's like a silver thread on the board, and it has a giant needle that kind of like underlines the words. And this one, it's definitely more of a showroom than anything else when you come in.
They've got like lines of pre-done garments that you can get adjusted if necessary, right?
Yep,
Ooh.
but you need to ask someone to move the garments for you. Everything is again behind glass.
I'm gonna be looking at each garment as we walk by, like, no. Ooh, that's slimming. I like that. No. Maybe.
No.
I'm gonna give him something in navy. I'm feeling navy and silver.
I like
Whatever.
that. It's slimming.
Alright, well. As per the name, silver, easy enough to find in most of his garments. It seems to be the go-to accent. And as you guys are perusing, there is someone hawkish sort of nose, and they're just kind of like watching you guys from behind the desk.
My friend here.
Hello.
Of course, and he steps around, makes his way over to you guys, and he has a ring of keys that kind of jingles with each step.
Okay, so here's the deal. I have lunch, excuse me, with her parents today.
And then we have dinner with Nikolai.
Then we have dinner with Nikolai. Her parents don't like me, and I'm not sure about Nikolai either. So I'm really kind of trying to look good here. You understand?
Oh, that's such a shock. You seem like such a likable fellow.
Thank you. See, that's what I keep telling people.
People make mistakes in the past. When you're a teenager,
I
sometimes
see
Right.
you're interested in this. Might I say, wonderful choice.
Thank you.
But
I have asked and boots to match.
of course, we will get some boots. But you did mention, sorry, who was the second one? Did you say Millsworn?
Yes, Nikolai Millsworn.
Right, we might, again, beautiful choice. We might want something a little fancier though. Alright?
You have a fits you and his size.
Yes, and maybe something a bit more of a military sort of dress.
Oh, I don't know if military is quite for me.
Oh, it doesn't mean that. It's just something nice, sharper lines, a
Look.
bit more of a presence.
Okay. Okay, I could see that. I could see
Yes.
that.
And I was also hoping to get something for myself. I'm thinking velvet, green, accents of gold. Do you have something like that?
Of course. Are we looking to complement your figure? And are we looking to...
Well, I have this, and I like fluff out my bright red, coppery hair. Got this, and I have freckles like here, and then like they go down the shoulder. I'd like to show them off. I'm proud of them.
Of course. We got just the thing. Dress, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Unless you think there's a better like suit that would work too, I'm not particularly picky.
I don't really have
That look good in a suit.
An open shoulder.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. Dress.
Okay. And with that, they kind of move a little bit over. They show you a couple of other outfits. A bit more on the expensive side. You're looking anywhere from 5 to 15 gold, just for like some of these garments.
Price is no object.
No object. All right.
Make me dazzled.
Dazzled it is, and they'll pull out a very nice blue and silver kind of uniform, very like tailored shoulders with like pads in them, so you would have a very kind of almost V-like figure.
What do you think? Do you like this? Is this a good AC?
I think it would be good for dinner.
Now,
Really? It's not too much? It's not too much?
So we'll take that. Can he change it to the other outfit now, and we'll just go straight to lunch?
of course, I have a changing room just back there.
Lovely. And how much for my dress?
Your dress will be 10 gold, and it's nice velvet green, open shoulder, and not quite a zipper, but it has like
Like the hooks?
like this one doesn't have the shoulder, right? The other side, however, it has like silver buttons that go all the way down this side.
Yeah.
I think you look great.
Yeah, and it kind of like
Oh.
crosses just a little bit. Actually, scratch that. We want to have it that the buttons come from the missing shoulder across and then down across your hip. And it has also a sash that goes with it as well, that you can tie around your waist.
Lovely. I'll save that until I go to dinner. I'm gonna change at my parents' place.
Of course. So 10 gold from you, 50 gold from you. Nice shined boots, all changed. Besides that, I also have some pocket watches if you're interested in that. I have cufflinks if you're interested in that.
Ooh,
extra
cufflinks, you say?
sashes. Yes, cufflinks.
Well, I don't know. How do you think I would look in cufflinks, Aisley? You think that look good? Too fancy? Maybe that's too much. Maybe cufflinks is a little too much, huh?
Depends on how much do you want to show your wealth.
Now,
Ooh, that's a good
I
point.
noticed when you came in here, and they'll pull out a thing of cufflinks that actually is like the shape of 2 little daggers.
Huh.
Those do suit you.
Yeah, you know what? Okay, you sold me on the cufflinks with the daggers.
Okay, these are 1 gold.
Absolutely.
It's like a visual shanking.
Yeah. Assassin's Creed it.
Do you have another set at all? Or is that the only?
That's the only
Regular
one of
cufflink.
those, but I do have other cufflinks if you're interested.
I can take 1 dagger and you can take 1.
It's fine. Cufflinks won't even fit on this outfit.
Oh,
thought they
what
were
did you
not.
say? I'm just gonna sit there enjoying my cufflinks.
I just thought they were novel and cool.
Alright, well, if that's everything for you, fine.
Do you know if the Arcane Armory is still in business? The enchanting shop?
Which one? There's several.
There was an Arcane Armory. that I knew of a few years ago. Is it still in business?
Again, there's several now, sweetheart.
There's several now? There's
Yes,
just
yes.
one. Oh, okay. Where's the
You
closest
see,
one?
with the election coming through, the mill swans have been, they've been so giving. Like, if you own a business, they're just pretty much giving you money to just expand, stock your inventory. It's a great time to own and to invest. If you're looking to do a startup or anything in this town, yeah, it's wonderful.
Okay. Well, where's the closest one then?
The closest one, there's just one, a couple of blocks over, actually. Why? What are you looking for?
We go adventuring a fair bit. I wanted to see what this town has to offer in ways of enchanted items.
Well, you could do that, but you could also definitely talk, since you're already seeing him, the armory, Matthias. He does actually have, to my understanding, quite a decent stock of stuff. Again, word on the street. We are getting quite a bit, but we are also kind of giving him a little bit of a kickback on some of our sales, as well as some of our more choice items. So you could go around shopping, but if you're going there, probably just talk with him.
Okay. Well, thank you. We'll go and Matthias. He works at the arcane armory nearby. You said
Matthias Millsworn.
Matthias Wilson. Oh, okay.
You
Okay.
should know his name if you're going to meet him, honey.
Well, I didn't figure that you were talking about a Matthias Nilsson. You said like you're going to the anyway, so I thought he was just like, oh, there's this Matthias Thatcher who works at the
If you're
arcane
gonna
armory.
have dinner, you could probably just talk to him and move it along. That's what I was simply saying. But besides
Okay,
that, if
that
you
is-
love shopping, 2 blocks down, beautiful shop from what I hear. It's not really my taste, so I haven't been in there, but I've heard good things.
Thank you very much. We're gonna leave with our new clothes. I'm gonna throw the fancy stuff in pocket space.
Okay.
Oh.
You might...
No,
2,000... Oh, wait, you don't have 2,000 gold in money.
no,
Yeah, you're fine. You're
I
good.
split that up.
Yep, you're fine. I was gonna say, that's a lot.
Yeah, no.
Alright.
Split that up. You wanna check out some arcane shit before we go to my parents' place?
Why not? We're already out.
Cole and Shalasha, if you guys want to run into them here, you can. That's up to you. If not, I'll deal with them and you can join them after. So, you tell me.
This would be a good spot because I actually probably need something there.
No, I think I'm pretty good.
Well,
Just want to
too
talk
bad.
to someone.
You're with Cole, so you're running into them.
Oh, hey, you guys!
Hey, that's like my cufflinks.
Nice.
Those are awfully pointy.
Get
Do
you.
you?
We got them
need-
dressed nicely with my parents for lunch with my parents. I need to go there and pick up a change of clothes when we get there. But first, we're actually heading to an arcane shop nearby.
Oh,
Is anyone from around here? Or is it just Nikolai?
AC is.
Yeah.
Are you familiar at all with the... Well, I didn't know if your
They-
parents were in town or... You haven't exactly gone extensively into your history. Do you know much about the local trade? I now find myself about 2,100 gold in debt to an ongoing job, and I like to make some money if there are mines nearby and they do ore, if there's miscellaneous jobs, stuff like that. Just want to load up my pocket.
Know about DM?
Roll a history check.
Do I have advantage because I grew up here?
Nope.
Damn
Because
it.
you were a jewel crafter.
Well, yeah, but also being part of the Jewel Crafters Guild.
I know their backstory. Don't you worry about it,
No, I just figured like business would
baby.
have.
Shush.
Than I do.
What'd you get?
18.
18. See, this is why
15.
you roll. You're good. Yeah. So business-wise, you're aware that again, it's a hunting town and a lumber town. That's the main thing it has. They also wanted to get more into farming and stuff like that, but they're right next to a forest. So to the south, there are a couple of farms and stuff like that. There's money for clearing out the forest. There's quite a few odd jobs here and there. It's a very wealthy town. It's one of the wealthier human towns. You can make money doing stuff in the forest. You can make money if you want to get a business. And from what you've just been told as well, Matthias is doing everything he can to just pump the economy right now.
Okay. So I'll tell you, there's always people willing to pay you if you want to go into the forest and kill some things. If you want to just help with logging, like there's a lot of logging jobs in town. But like, if you go to and stand around one of the cryostones, you'll hear about jobs. There's a lot of jobs.
All right.
My best bet would be like a cryostone, or like going to the forest and helping
Yeah, if you
clear it out
want
a
to
bit.
listen to a cryostone, you can actually quickly make a perception check, and I'll tell you a couple of the things you hear.
Sure. 16 on the die plus 6 is 22.
22. Alright, so from the cryostones, there's a couple of things going off. One is apparently there's a woman looking for a bag. Sounds like she's new in town. Not too much really going about her. Doesn't even have a name in the ad. But it just says inquire at your local. Not a message shop. Post office if you want more, right? Because the post office are usually the ones that run the cryostones. So there's that one. There's word that something weird washed up on shore, and they're looking for hands to help remove whatever it is off of the shore. As again, this is another coastal town. There's words of who won the dance competition. So actually, Assie's name as well as Hank's name is being said here and there, and it's just an advertisement to go check out the Sparrow. There's a last one. Apparently there's a fellow who's passing through town, and he's looking for escorts or arcane hands of a practiced nature. And the last one is word of weird singing coming from the forest, and they're looking for people to investigate.
Okay.
Oh, and there's two more. There's been another murder in Red River, and then there's apparently also word of increasing problems to the north around the Fay Pond area, and they're trying to connect the two. But Red River and Fay Pond aren't close. You don't know that though.
Okay. What time of day is it?
Quite early. It's like before 9 a.m.
Okay.
Unless you want it to be later because you guys are going for lunch. You tell me.
We are going for lunch with your parents, and then we have dinner with Nikolai and his family around 5, correct?
Yep.
That crier stone said there might be something down near the beach edge, so I might go check that out, see if I can scrape up a little gold right after lunch, so.
I mean, if that's what you want to do, I was planning to probably do a bit more shopping, go to my parents, change there, and probably hang around there until dinner time because I don't want to be a mess when I go to the Mill Swans.
I'm guessing you want us to look over the cufflinks. I get it. I'll need to change.
Yeah, especially when we go to see the Mill Swans.
Oh, absolutely. Seeing that, then, I will do my best to find. What is your family's last name?
Quick Argentum.
All right.
If you ask it, Quick Argentum Jewelers, they'll be able to direct you to the estate.
All right, then. If you're going to be shopping, I might just take a run down to the beach and see if there's anything I can.
Yep.
Anything I can do in the meantime. So I'll just meet you there for 1 o'clock. Is it late afternoon or is it just straight at midday?
They don't know we're coming. We were supposed to do dinner, so I want to get there a little earlier and warn Mum.
What time do you want to be there?
I'm gonna be heading there after I do this, so you just show up when you can.
Go up at midday.
I'll aim for midday then.
Yes, when the sun is at its zenith.
Shut up, God. Alright, then, I'll see you in a couple hours. And, I'll pick up a bit of a skipping pace and I'll take off sprinting for the beach. Or assuming I know where the beach is.
Yep, they're easy enough to find.
Look for the big
When you
blue
start to tell you to go the other way, it's
No.
faster.
It is a little ways, this isn't exactly a beach town. It's close to the coast, but it's kind of like more or less overlooking it. So, I'll give you a bit of a description of what you see on your way there, and you can decide if you want to keep making that trek down.
I'm going down. I'm gonna try and follow what the crier stone said.
Right.
If there's a crowd.
What you do see is so you're making your way through, right, and you're trying to get towards the beach, and eventually you get to a bit of a cliff that overlooks, and there's several little stone staircases that let you down to the beach, but it's a 20-minute walk on these fucking staircases. It's literally a stair district to get down from here, right? Milskar is kind of a cliff city, is what you're figuring out. But what you can see is what seems to be a very large whale that's beached itself. And there's a lot of people there, and they're trying to figure out how they want to deal with this beached whale. And there's a crowd of maybe 20 people, and when I say whale, you need to realize how big this fucking thing is. There's 20 people, and they look like a small little crowd. They're not covering it. They look tiny next to this thing.
Okay.
This thing is probably
Blue whale sized.
yes, it's huge.
Okay. I am very good at cardio, so getting down there won't be a problem for me.
Alright, so you're committed to try to help this out. Get back to you in just a second. You guys, you're just going to a magic shop? Alright, now we've done a lot of shopping, and we're getting a little late into the episode, so we can roleplay this if you want, or you could tell me kinda more what you're looking for, and we'll expedite it just a little bit.
I'm just looking for a magical item that I can afford. I've got 500 gold.
500 gold. What kind of magic item are you hoping to find?
Something to help me when I'm fighting, something neat but pretty at the same time. If there's an enchanted tiara or something that lets me use spells more.
So, what kind of spell are you want? Something that casts shield? Something that casts blow?
That could be interesting. What does blow do exactly?
It basically means things have disadvantage to hit you.
Okay, I like the sound of that.
Alright, now usually it's a concentration spell, but since this is a magic item, It won't last that long. It'll be like 4 or so rounds of blow.
Okay.
Or we'll let you use, or it could be, you could use a reaction to impose disadvantage.
Okay.
So,
I like the sound of that. Is it a pretty looking tiara?
it could be. And we'll say
Yeah.
it'll cost 400 gold.
Okay.
Alright, so you can
Remember
write
that?
down Tiara of Blow, reaction. So 4 charges, you use a reaction to
tell
expend
me
it.
when I get home.
Sure. You got it. I'll write it in
I'm gonna put
Discord.
it- Oh, and do they have any earrings of sending?
They could probably get 1 or 2 of those if you want. Not sending, but message.
Yeah,
Sending
message.
would be very expensive because that's like what, a 3rd level spell?
Yeah.
So that would be like 800 or so gold or more. But message
Yeah.
you could probably get for like 200 gold.
And it would be like a matched pair? Or...
Yeah, it would be a matched pair.
Oh, do you want to go half and half with me, A-Rod?
Oh man, that's a little too rich for my blood.
I spent 1 whole gold on these.
Yeah, as I'm dappering up my cufflinks.
I know you kept most of the money from when we got
I'm
that.
tapped
Of course
out.
I did. That's why I kept it, so I wouldn't have to spend it so soon.
I've got 100 left, and this way we can talk to each other.
You know what? How much is it? That might be pretty useful.
200.
Okay, I'll kick in 200.
Do they have a 3-way set?
I don't know anyone that has 3 ears, but with another 200 gold, I'll find another and link it in.
Would you want to get in on this call?
I am actually going to be saving my money as
Okay,
much as
then.
possible. I gotta spend a little bit, but
Okay, then. So Avon and I will each kick in 100 gold to get a match, to get like a set of earrings of sending, one for each of us.
Message.
Message, yeah.
Alright. Earrings of message. Use free action to.
How many charges? Just one, or
Uh, there you go. Cool. If you guys want me to write those better on like actual D&D speech, you let me know and I will. But I think that works fine. Correct?
Yeah, it works
Yeah.
for me.
All right. So that's what you guys do.
and real quick, all I needed was 2 blank spell scrolls and a price check on a sentinel shield.
Okay. Sentinel Shield, I will check for that. Spell Scrolls, it's I think 50 gold per spell level that you want to save into these spell scrolls. So what level of spell scroll?
It would be first.
First, alright, so that would be 100 gold for, those together. And then a Sentinel Shield. Is that an actual item, or?
Yep.
Shield 5th edition. I just gotta see the rarity and then I'll be able to let you know. And we'll see if they even have it. It's an uncommon. This will probably be Tonium info. Nope. General. Clicky. It'll be about 600 gold for the shield.
to know. All I needed.
Okay. And with that, you guys are settled with that?
Yep.
Alright.
I'm good.
Shalashar, you make your way down to the shore to find 20 men by this dead whale. It smells bad. If you had a sense of smell, you would know that. As they are all sitting here discussing what to do. Someone's saying we should chop it up. They're like, that would take weeks. Another guy goes, what if we blow it up? And he goes, so we can cover the town. And another guy goes, well, what if we push? And as he like pushes his hand against it, the carcass gives way and he like sinks up to his elbow into it.
May I step in?
No. They turn and look at you, and one guy's like, what are you gonna do?
So you just want to get rid of it? Do you not care about, as long as it doesn't damage anything, you don't care how it goes away?
I mean, I would like to know what you're doing in case there's long-lasting consequences you haven't thought of.
The body's just gonna biodegrade.
Okay.
So then all you have is the remnants. There's going to be some fungi, a couple flowers. Other than that, it's just a skeletal structure.
Bones would be easier to deal with.
I heard that you needed some help, so
Alright, well, what are you gonna do? It feels
I'm just gonna
they like
just gonna-
step to the side, let you to it.
walk up to it, and I'm going to. Oh, what is this?
Cast decompose.
I'm going to cast shadows. No, that's fine. I'm basically just going to pull my arm back, and I'm going to take off my gauntlet. I'm going to basically have my hand covered in shadow, so they can't see my my skin. And I'm going to touch my hand to the carcass, and I'm going to cast Decompose.
Okay. So with that,
Hold it.
it's almost like a wave like goes across this body, and following the wake of it, everything just starts falling down and like almost turning to dust. And it's almost like it's like you Thanos snapped this thing out of existence, and the only thing that remains is a pile of dust that goes like almost a foot up the bones, and then just a bunch of bones. And as the wind blows, a bunch of like this dust goes off into the ocean, and everyone's looking at you like, what the fuck?
So, where do I go for payment?
The post office or the harbor master or I don't know. I thought this would take weeks to organize.
Couple seconds. Well, if you don't need anything else,
Thank you.
I'll give a short little bow, and my raven-like cloak will flutter up behind me, and then
You
I'll
hear
just.
one guy like bitching, and he's like, "Fuck! Now what am I gonna do with my week?"
I'll just high knees all the way up the cliffside.
Told my wife I was gonna be busy.
Rough.
All right.
Don't tell her. Free time.
When we thought they would have a job for the next week.
Yes.
Then
Cleric just whoop.
I was like, what spell can I use? Right, clerics don't give a fuck.
Alright. So with that, you show up. Everyone is together. Everyone's looking more dapper and lighter in the coin purses. We can... Go ahead.
Sorry, I was just saying, once we get to my parents' house, I'm gonna go to my room and change.
Alright. Well, it's up to you guys, as we already 3 hours, 30 minutes in. We could end it here, or we could do the dinner and... Sorry, the lunch and then end it. Up to you guys.
I don't know. I kind of need to end it. It's almost 11 for me.
Alright.
Yeah,
Yeah.
gotta work in the morning.
In that case, this is a
You
good
could,
place to end today's session then.
Yeah, you can just tell me what money we got off. I got off the whale, and then presumably get
don't
dressed
worry,
and head
you'll
over
deal with that next session, baby boy.
in a week.
Yeah, so you know.
But Papa needs money now.
You can wait. And for all of you joining us, thank you for joining us for this episode of the Lich's Archive. Hopefully we'll see you next week, or we'll see you the week after that. And besides that, I hope you guys have a good day, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Remember, it's after now, not from Hilda.
Oh.